Stage Street 1. The transport truck will soon make its last trip, or my works with Alana to prepare their truck to be returned. However, still attached to the truck. She is hoping to delay its return, almost as if in answer to her prayers. A strange passenger hijacks the truck and demands to be taken to the Grinning Valley.
I hear leaves be looping and bubbling away inside a scalding hot pot. I love that song. There's the static from Dad's radio too, and the oldie hawking on about sharpening your blades, and the sound of the UT's power plant as it drives. I love all that too, but I'm not gonna hear them anymore. Or, well, I won't soon enough. Here's the fire, burning, telling me, hey, chin up, just chin up a bit. You know, Dad's hoping you will. Actually, I think the fire's a little weak. I'll give it a bit of air. Puff it. Huh? What's that sound I hear?
Lan F. Can you not think on your bowl? I told you to stop doing that. What if you get on someone's nerves?
I'll dink on anything I please. Can't I be the boss of my own UTE? Besides, with how loud the truck stop is, nobody's gonna be pointing fingers at me.
Don't make excuses.
I'm just bored. Mate, you're making an awful lot of food today. What's the occasion anyway? I've been waiting ages. I'm starved. I had to make some noise to get some message across to the food. Don't get cold now. We need to wait for Potlid to join us for our meal.
Oh, excuses again? You don't worry about anything. You're like a kid. If you're that bored, come help me out in the kitchen.
Oh, but you're the 6-star chef here. You're killing it in there. Potlid.
Would you stop calling me Potlid already?
What's this red dish here?
Oh, that's the tomato braised Siswai beast. It'll blow you wet.
Tomato braised Siswai beast. What's with the color? Shouldn't the broth be a little more yellow? Why?
Before she can finish her sentence, Alana has already rammed her spoon into the piping hot bowl and scooped an entire slab of cyst, white beast meat into her mouth. The food burns her tongue. But Alana gives the pot lit a thumbs up nonetheless.
Mom, it's perfect. That's our truck's 6-star chef.
But the meat you brought back this time's especially fresh. I didn't have to use a lot of seasoning to make it taste good.
Really? Looks like the market man gave us the freshest on hand, knowing we're leaving. Guess it was worth buying from him for 2 years.
Don't say things like that. Lana, I think he's been real good to us from the very beginning. Going by what you've told me, I'm picturing it kinda short. Good-tempered man in a dirty apron. The middle-aged man.
Yeah, no, that's not what he looks like. When he stands in front of his shop holding a cleaver. Not a single person dares to swipe even a single carrot scissors from the market. When you get older, I'll let you walk around town yourself. That reminds me, when was the last time we had tomato braised Sistwai?
The last time... It was probably when we first ate together, and you made that meal yourself.
Oh, that does feel like a long time ago. You still remember?
Of course. You said a cooking is just one of the things I'm good at. But then you made an insanely sour tomato braised Siswai beast.
How was I supposed to know those tomatoes were gonna be that sour? The broth was bright and yellow. It looked so tasty.
I still remember the look on your face after you gave it a taste.
What does it matter if it helps fill our tummies? Flavor comes second. And didn't you finish all of yours?
Let's not talk about the past. I don't want the food to get cold because you can't stop complaining.
Pot lid lightly touches the bowl, and suddenly the braised meat becomes just as piping hot as when it was fresh out of the pot. Amid the rising white steam, Alana's expression grows stern.
Hey, didn't we agree not to use arts for little things like that?
But this is the fastest way to warm it up. I'm just heating the food up. Just a quick use. It's nothing to worry about.
Whatever. It's your health, not mine. But as soon as we gets to Iron Carrots as a city, we need to find you a teacher who can teach you real proper casting. Come on, tuck in. What are you waiting for?
Potlid takes a cloth and wipes clean the broth that spilled over the bowl, then wipes her hands. She takes a few thick books from the shelf and stacks them on her seat, one by one, before sitting on top of them. Potlid places one arm on the table flat while her other hand props her head up. And she looks at Alama with a smile on her face.
We're going to have to return the truck when we get to Iron Carrots as a city. And they'll shut the roots down forever.
Yeah, think you'll miss it?
Not really. One might never get sad.
Till, alright then. In that case, after this roots is suspended, Do you still want to stay on my truck? After we return it to the company, they'll probably keep it around. Though I doubt it'll go to the stops we took before.
Even so, I won't let it get to me. You, huh? I won't. As long as you're right here by my side. Oh, there's nothing to be unhappy about.
Alana reaches out to pat Lid on the head. Her ears twitch in response.
What's wrong?
TH, that kinda tickles her.
Seeing the young Cautus's reaction, Alana a laugh.
Then, my wonderful, perpetually smiley pot lid, help me run some errands later, will ya?
Huh? But it's been so long since I got into town and...
You'll be fine. See, I took the safety valve off to make it go faster, and I can't have the company finding that out when they inspect the UTE, so we need a new safety valve right quick. We'll also need some daily necessities for a long trip. The workers said they'd bring us some, but I said no.
The guys at the motor pool know you're leaving.
Yeah, but I still have heaps of things that I need to deal with here. If I were to go, I might not be done by tomorrow morning.
Do they know you're taking me with you?
I suppose. Anyhow, that's why I'm counting on you to take care of that. You're a young lady already anyway. And here.
Alana's pot lit a paper scrap with some wobbly writing on it.
Sell those things out the front door. We should be able to get some money out of them. As for the rest, follow the shopping list. Here's my purse. Take it with you. I still have one last bit of work to handle, sis.
So this is the last...
Let's divvy up the work and get this done. Divide and conquer.
Let's do it.
Then the metal crab woke up. It got to its feet, snipped twice, uncarved the tower crane into pieces. Everyone took a good look. And turns out all that reinforced concrete didn't make a dent in its shell when everything came crumbling down. Of course, they dropped their shovels and blowtorches and ran for their lives. How's that? I heard it's based on a real story. Real people. Grabbing down. This is what we're showing for tonight's open-air movie night. Over at the Slag Heap. No need to thank me. I've never seen you around, so you'll have to be new here. Let me go more into the rules of our ball and card games here. Each factory district has different rules. You know that, right? I just want to send beast. Fine. I have a few of them in this basket here. Take whichever you want. All my sand beasts are well trained. They eat and sleep and follow their masters close. You really don't want to talk about anything else? Look, fine weather today, isn't it? It's not often we get a day without a sandstorm out here. Makes work much easier.
Watch out. Out of the way. Out of the way. I can't stop pee. I'm okay. I'm not a baby anymore. I'll be fine. It took me so much work to pile up the pots and dishes. Now they're all over the ground.
The little girl prepares to bend down to pick up a big pot. At the same time, a hound reaches out for it. The two both take a reflexive step back. Potlid nervously tugs her own sleeve.
Miss, I can pick these things up myself. You don't have to help me.
Okay.
Also, thanks for stopping my hand truck there.
Yeah. You didn't say you wanted to stop. But there's a recycling facility up ahead. It wouldn't be good if you crashed into it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Mister, my things are blocking your shop's entrance. I'll clean it all up right away.
It's fun, little girl. Take your time.
Hold on. So, this is the Tinny Long Years General Store. Mister, I'm here to talk business.
Business. Shouldn't someone be watching you?
I don't need her to help me with this. She has her own work to do. We're dividing and conquering.
Alright, wait here for a sec. You picked out a sand beast yet? Let me have another look. I'll deal with the little girl first. 在下一场实验开始前，我会与你做一些讨论。Come on, what are you buying?
First things first, I need to sell some things before I buy anything. Take a look at these pots and pans, as well as this Origin IUM gas cooker. I'm selling them all. I heard that second-hand kitchenware that's kept well and clean sells for a lot of money.
Tough. A pot so scorched. Even its handles is as black. A fork with broken teeth. And scrap sheet metal. You're trying to sell this?
With the money I make from selling these and the change in my purse, I know I'll have enough for a safety valve, an electrode holder, spray paint tank.
So, how about this? Bring everything you want to buy to the counter. I'll give you a discount and take your wares based on the total price. Whatever's left over, I won't tip.
You, huh? I have to sell all these things.
I can treat you to a cold carrot scissors.
Huh?
It's a deal. Then, let's see. This gas cooker is more than enough. Take the rest of that garbage back with you. 在下一场实验开始前，我可以与你做一些讨论。
On second thought, huh?
You're a weird one. Little girl. Why are you insisting on selling all those things? If you didn't look like such a nice little bun, I'd be thinking you committed some kind of crime and came here to get rid of evidence. And let's be real. I don't know you from Bruce. How am I supposed to just offload the garbage you hauled here? What if you turn out to be an infected?
I knew it. An afternoon wasn't going to be enough to sell all of it. Oh, huh? I told her. She didn't believe me. All right? I'll have to report back. Then think of something.
Hold on. Little one, who sent you?
Huh? Land and us. Oh, this is the barren land.
Alright. I don't know you, but I do know her. Look at her dumping her work on a little girl like you. Not that I'm surprised. Here, a footstool. That way you can get a better view while I tally the numbers up. Tell her I'll take her things for now. And whenever she gets a day off, she owes me a meal.
Huh? Why the change of heart? I guess it's fair. I'm not a kid anymore. If I'm asked to do something, I'll end them soon.
What's the matter? You weren't happy when I wouldn't talk business. And you're also unhappy that I'm taking these off your hands.
Huh? Yeah. Nah. I've been happy the whole time. The safety valve model that Lana Nest told me to get is not on the shelf.
Let's see. Didn't this model go obsolete ages ago? Ever since the union set the regs. The guidebooks has been full of tips to never buy that junk again.
Huh? I have to go look for it elsewhere. I'll find it. Mister, look after the hand truck for me.
So, I really need to talk to Alamas about this. What about you, miss? Have you picked one yet? Or do you have something else in mind?
88. What do I even do with you? Give me the spammer. I'll do it. I know my UTE better than anybody else.
Hey, you hired me for this. Alamas You want to save yourself some money. Come out and say it.
I'm not always tight on money like your broke horse. I'm no alcoholic. And I don't drive my truck so bad that it breaks down every other day. Besides, if I do less work than you, how am I supposed to boast about my skills?
That little run. This thing we're taking apart right now. That's where she sleeps, right? Really? Alright, I'll give it to you. I lost this time. We all thought you were just talking big, given your temper. Shouldn't you have made her somebody else's problem a long time ago? My bad. Stop glaring.
Look down on me again, and the next time I'm back, I'll kick a ball into your faces.
It's mainly that we haven't seen her the last 2 years. We only have your word to go on. You got your treads chewed by a big beck beast. You swapped the control valve at the last minute under catastrophe clouds to speed up your transport. You got a passenger that got blasted into the sky by a geyser. Everything you say is like it's all happened.
It all actually happened. I'm telling you.
Fine. It happened. Now why did you keep her locked away in the truck the whole time? Never letting her out to spend time with the rest of us? Surely she didn't want to stay shut up in there. If that's really the case, what are you planning to do tomorrow when the truck's out of commission?
I'll figure something out once I get this to carrots. The company has to give me a new route. What?
You'll figure something out. Hold on. You're going to Iron Carrots' city to wait for a new route instead of staying here. You're never coming back?
This is the only one I could get, says. Oh. It's not quite what Lana Nest told me to find. But the shop said we should at least be able to plug it in. If I don't hurry and get us back, we won't finish everything we have to do. Lana Nest! Oh, she'll be back to by now.
Oh. Little girl, hello. You're walking kind of leisurely. Not like you're trying to catch a ride.
Huh? Do I look leisurely? Wait.
If I might have a little of your time, would you happen to know when the last transport to Iron Carrots' city leaves?
9:30 at night. I know the route is better than anybody.
Oh. Okay. Appreciate it. Tip. 9:30. I still have some time.
I'm really worried about Lanez for some reason. What's going on?
There is an old, abandoned workshop belonging to the vehicle located at the city transport gateway. Its white, familiar as ever, can be seen through its windows. Pot lid wipes the dust off the window and peeks inside. The passage leading to the exit bears the workplace fatigue from the workers' frantic movement, all the loading and unloading they perform every day. They say the passage is old and smoothed out, just like the bottom of the tin lunchbox that the old factory director has used and washed for 2 decades. As the workers cheer on, a metal bowl, or more precisely, an amalgamation of a variety of scrap metals compressed together and polished into a ball, is dropped onto the smooth surface. The ball rolls forward. Good shot. Meh. Beautiful. And you knocked them all down in one go. Good one. Alana says, let's see. 18, 19. You're ahead by 20. How are we supposed to catch up? Charlie, you sproglet. Let's call it quits while our score doesn't look terrible. Don't embarrass the factor. Alright. Just shut up and watch. Let me show you wonkers what a perfect shot looks like. Instead of worrying about me, maybe start racking your brains to figure out how we'll decorate tonight's send-off party for Alana. First, we'll make it a welcome party. We'll welcome Alana as a proper member of the Rustrake Town Motor Pool family. Really now, if you don't knock all the pins down in this one go, you aren't getting another shot at it. Put a sock in it. He bends down to put the fallen pins upright, undrubs his hands against his trouser pockets, his sweat leaving a clearly visible mark on the fabric. He picks up the ball, places his toes just slightly before the foul line, and stares straight ahead.
Hold on. Charlie, that's enough.
Huh.
I'm in the lead for now. And you still have a chance to overtake me. We could put our argument on hold considering the score. It should be an acceptable outcome for both of us. Let's call it a draw. What do you say?
Alana says, forget this place. There's not a single person in all the matches ever played in the RMIA who ever tried to pull a trick like this. If I'm remembering right, we agreed that if I win, you stay. If you win, we won't keep you, and you can go wherever. But now you're asking for a draw. What do you want us to do? Cut you in half and have one half drive your truck, while the other half stays here? Or are you going to spend half of your time on your new life and the other half with your old friends?
Oh, pass. I'm not like those new factory district traps. They announce their newest expansion plans at their morning conferences, supervise my work in the afternoons, and go to some boring social engagements in the evenings. I've got more than enough on my plate, and I can't be into places at once. I only have enough sanity in me to hold the gear lever, at most leaning one ear closer to the passengers to eavesdrop on their funny stories. So, here's my suggestion. I'll head to Carrots as everything dealt with. The next time I'm back, I'll talk to all of you about joining the motor pool.
So you're saying you're never coming back? What? Because of our bet? Because of that little kid?
Lena?
What, Lid?
WH, why are you bowling here? Oh, didn't you say you have lots to take care of?
We haven't settled our bet, so of course I have to take care of this.
Oh, Linus? You lazy siswai beast.
Pot Lid raises her hand up high and shoves Alana's shoulder as hard as she can. Her sleeve slides down to reveal a black, irregularly shaped crystal cluster. Not even the bracelet that Alana gave her is able to hide its luster.
Hmm? Why are your friends all looking at me?
Ugh, they're just curious. Come, we're going back to the UTE.
What?
What do you think? I'm willing to bet no one could tell that just 4 hours ago, there used to be an illegal kitchen here, right? That's what you gets with the best vehicle Mac over hands in the entire district. It's not every day I gets to put my skills to work.
Yep, huh? I really can't tell at all. But Linus, you didn't tell me you were taking it apart. It's amazing. You told me the work we had left was a huge pain. You might not finish if you had to do it all alone. Isn't that why you asked me to buy all those things? But not only are you all done, you're bowling with them in here. You're even having a lolly water and reading magazines.
But of course. Anyhow, we only have 3 minor problems left now. First off, we need to use spray paint to cover up the smoke-damaged wall here. Let me show you how it works first. After that, you have fun with the other 2 cans.
I think I might have started a few too many fires.
Next, we have the power plant pipeline safety valve.
Oh, I couldn't find the kind you wanted. Does that mean? Does that mean we won't be able to hand in the truck tomorrow?
Don't worry. I knew you wouldn't be able to find a model that old.
Shit.
You see, we're getting our truck inspected and upgraded because even though all the other parts are fairly new, the power plant is too old. No one cared about it before, but the unions and Big Pillar have been clamoring for standardization. Standardization. Sounds like a pretty cool word, right? You can think of it as setting up rules. The old power plant's problems don't bother me. But the union says they're switching over to the top-of-the-line thingies in the ads for our own good. And I think they have a point. Anyway, it's because ours is against the rules that we're going to get as a new one from a transport company and carrots is tomorrow. We'll be fine. Even if this valve isn't a perfect fit, we just have one last run. As long as it gets RUTE to its final destination, it's more than enough. And if we end up having to use the backup pipeline, then I'll need you to help me out. Just like before, I'll ask you to go down to the power plant to take a look at things. And you'll need to report anything that seems off right away.
Okay.
Finally, this is the decommissioning report we need to hand over to the station when we leave. Once we're gone, we aren't coming back.
Alanis stops for a bit and glances at Pot Lead.
All these silly formalities, right? And they barely gave me any heads up. I asked Thickpalm Parker to teach me how to fill out the form, and it took 2 whole hours. I didn't have time to take it to the station today. You did pretty good today. So I'll turn this report tomorrow morning on my own. You can stay in the tool room and sleep in. If you're sad, it's okay to let it out.
If we get to the roots of this change, you probably won't get us a lot of chances to see your mates here. What?
Huh?
That's why I'll hand in the report tomorrow. That way, you can spend a bit more time with your mates. And you won't be so sad over not seeing them anymore. My kitchen's gone now. When we get to our new home, once our house is built, I'll make the sweetmeat soup that always put a smile on your face.
Sounds good.
You slapped my back hard.
You're growing up, aren't you? You'll get us used to it. Okay, now catch. Tonight, I'll let you have lolly waters with me and go to bed an hour later than before.
I'm so tired. But I won't get as lost. I'm not a little kid. I can read a map. Yep. Take a turn here. Go upstairs right ahead. The man from yesterday is still there. Not only is he sitting in the same place, he's in the same pose and looks just as depressed. Wow, incredible.
Oh, it's you. Little girl. Gee, good morning. Perfect timing. When's the earliest truck to Iron Carrots is city today?
At 620.
Looks like I'll make it.
I can take you there. You won't miss it.
And then no thanks. Sorry. I really appreciate it. But I want to sit here a little longer.
Are you waiting for someone?
We? No. What makes you think that?
Uma, no more we. Let's go back into the hut tonight. These things happen.
Because it's a very normal thing to wait for someone. I'll be on my way. Bye-bye. I hope you'll get to see the person you're waiting for.
No. I'm scared to death. I don't want to see. All us kids sure run quick. I should. Thank her nonetheless.
Next, bring your documents into the office.
How far away is the office? I can't see it at all from the line, though. What should I do? It's almost time to leave. I don't think I'll get this handed in time. So many people here this early. Maybe Luxus is not on my side. Even a big girl can't help it when she's unlucky.
Yeah, there are too many people here. Nothing wrong with the union trying to make the event seem more above board. But they didn't have to handle both beauty pageant registrations and government forms in the exact same place, did they? This is almost exactly how everybody used to line up in front of Grandma's room to complain. Good thing I'm taking care of this. If it had been the doctor or Amia here, it would have been a huge headache. What with how much work they have on their hands. Amia, she's just a teenager. Why exactly does she have so much on her shoulders? Right, little girl, you said you were in a rush? Small and white-fish as you are, you wouldn't be here for the beauty pageant, right?
Huh? I'm here to hand an RD commissioning report. Here, it's this one. If we don't hand it in today, then it won't get us decommissioned, right?
Oh. Now that's easy. Just let me take care of it.
Huh? It's our truck that's getting decommissioned. Do you know when, S?
Yeah, but you couldn't be the driver, could you? Yep, that's what I am talking about. The report just needs to be handed in. Doesn't matter who does the handing. I need to line up here anyway. Taking your report to the office desk, there is nothing. Just leave it to me, and gets us back to your ride. Why so glum? Is there still something worrying you?
Huh? Do I look? I can't be like this. Here. Miss, what?
Kid, this is for you.
Huh?
A business card. Remember to give it to your family. Might come in handy one day.
Hurry up. The passengers will be here any minute.
Parent. Huh?
You're gonna have to hide in the tool room this trip.
I'll be fine. Remember, I stayed in there for a long time in the beginning.
Also, you can still use the little terminal here to check the monitoring screens. You can see every person on the truck. Guess I didn't have to say. Huh?
Yeah,
Alright. I'm off to the driver's cabins.
I finished so much in such a short amount of time. Even though I ran into lots of trouble. And even though an NS said there probably wasn't enough time, we still managed to get the UT into shape to hand back. We took care of all the paperwork. Oh, the man from the station finally made it in. Right. I even helped someone with the schedule.
The transport vehicle's entrance is now closed. The vehicle will soon be powered on. Please take your seats or find a suitable area to affix your folding chair, bench, or mat.
I did such a great job. I should be happy. Even proud of myself. But, actually, I don't care what happens. I wish our truck didn't have to be retired. I still haven't got to see.
This vehicle's being hijacked. We're heading to the Grinning Valley.
Huh?
Pot lid looks at the display panel where the driver cabins' monitoring screen is shown. The unfamiliar voice heard through the broadcast belongs to the strange woman she met yesterday. She's holding Alana's broadcast mic with one hand. Her other hand is steadily holding her crossbow, with its bolt pressed against the side of Alana's neck. She stares at Pot lid with a cold glare through the monitoring camera's lens, perhaps noticing the subtle movement of its shift in angle. Anyone not heading to the Grinning Valley can get us off now, driver included.
Oh, that's a real truck jacking.
Stage 2. Alana contends with the truck jacker and cajoles her into bringing the truck to a checkpoint to call for help. But security officers want to board the truck to check for infected. She pleads in vain and to protect Warmai, and ends up charging through the checkpoint's gates with the truck jacker's help.
A long and narrow strip of dust rises up from the sand, bearing any tracks we've left. A scene I've seen too many times to count. They call me Alana's of the barren lands, but I'm definitely no unstoppable sandstorm. Just a tumbleweed that stops and goes. My bets with the workers are a stage for me to perform on. And my passengers' adventures are just more bragging fodder for me. But are those really my stories to tell? The lone vehicle sails across the land, over the ashen yellow desert sand, and under the dazzling golden sun. It deviates from its usual path. What is it looking for? What is it running from?
Weather's pretty good. You can even see the Origin IUM clusters in the distance. Reckon we'll reach our destination without a hitch. Quiet again. Nothing you want to say? I've never met a passenger as boring as you in all my time as a driver.
What did you say?
Huh, never mind. Hey, Didi, don't keep that thing down. Why don't you?
What are you doing?
I just wanted to open the window for some fresh air. That's all. Promise.
Hooray.
Tenua. Gets us your big buddy away from my head first. We can talk this through.
Continue towards the Grinning Valley, and I won't hurt you.
Telling me that after hijacking my UT and pointing this toy cannon at my face? What's even in that thing?
Custom bolts. Infected creatures are afraid of them.
I was hoping you'd say carrots or lollies instead. Well, no worries. I'm no infected creature, so I probably shouldn't find it too scary. But if you insist on keeping it pointed at my head...
I can drive it.
Can you now? It's gonna spin out of control by the time you get to Zermal Y on the lever. It'll charge straight into a cliff, or crash into one of those Origin IUM clusters. And then, BOM, kill me if you want. But what about the other passengers? Or that guy, what about that's Alec?
I gave everyone the chance to hop off, but no one took it. I just need the vehicle.
Don't you find it strange? Why you didn't leave? I'd be worried. If I were you, They hit and run tearaway. An unlucky fella fed up with his job. Or maybe, he's an undercover copper on your trail. Don't let all that trembling and shaking fool you. He might be hiding some real skills under his sleeve. Everyone's hiding a secret or two. Yeah? Nah. This UT's been with me for an awful long time. So emotion or logic-wise, I can't just give her up to a rondo blow-in.
You talk so much. And so fast. Real bouncer. A new life. What's that about, Cheba? Isn't life the same everywhere? There's nothing new or old to it, or different.
Fine. Maybe you're right. You know, even having my head suddenly up against some stranger's weapon isn't anything new to me. Maybe that's something to be sad about.
The truck jacker slowly lowers the giant crossbow.
Though, even if you want this for your own free ardor, you've got to be a bit more polite. That's how you'll make us, the people you've dragged into this, happier to cooperate with you.
I didn't want to involve anyone else. I asked around. And there shouldn't have been any passengers this time.
Huh. I guess is it. You've been planning this for a while. Huh. But you're bound to have a surprise or two, even if your crime's nice and premeditated. Fine. Let's just say my beat-up UT and I hit the jackpot.
When we get us there, everyone's free to go. I'll pay you too.
Sure hope so. Then, for your private charter, we'll first go to the Grinning Valley, but you have to make sure everyone here is safe. And enough raising your crossbow willy-nilly.
All right.
Good then. Jacker, just sit tight and enjoy the view on the way to your stop.
At some point in time, the truck gradually begins to slow down before coming to a halt. It enters a checkpoint, joining the other vehicles waiting to clear, one after the other. The truck inches forward, bit by bit, every time the other trucks go through the gates. Alana says is used to hate this part, but now she wants the traffic jam to go on for as long as possible, because this way, she can be even more certain that she'll get her off-course truck back.
Crowded.
Probably just another international entrepreneur clearing the raw materials out of the nearby mines. They must be working overtime to deliver the goods. They spill money like water, and make us road warriors suffer.
Why not go another way? This road is so congested.
We have to go through Green Meadow if we want to get us to the Grinning Valley. No choice. But they don't really check much. Just collect the toll and register a name.
All right.
The truck jacker leaves her seat, walking down the narrow corridor as if to confirm the conditions outside, and returns after a moment, on her way back. The sound of her footsteps sends Alana's heartbeat racing. Alana can only see the truck jacker's hand gripping her crossbow through the rearview mirror. The figure draped in olive shades covers all the junk reflected in the mirror before appearing in her peripheral vision and sitting next to Alana once more. Her expression and body language show a sense of calm. The subtle noise of her clothes brushing the leather seat happens to bury Alana's thumping heartbeats.
What's up?
Nothing. Looks like a catastrophe.
Huh?
These vehicles all seem to be avoiding a catastrophe. Or maybe some other bad thing.
Why's that? How do you figure?
The scratches on their exteriors are from infected creatures. And there's some dust. It's just a little. But I can see the particles. And the expressions of the people inside the cars too. The mine workers tend to have similar looks on their faces after an accident. The same kind of impatience in the knees when they don't know where to go.
Hold up. I'll go ask. Hey, bros. Old bloke in the side truck. What's with the road being chalkus today?
You didn't come from Double Helmet, Ma, did you?
No, mate. West Dregtown. Double Helmet. I remember a group of guys raving about mining some new place with a ton of minerals a while back.
There was an accident. Some unstable origin IUM blew the mine inside out. And now no one can stay there anymore.
Bloody hell. So you escaped. How are the others doing?
The driver suddenly coughs violently. And Alana notices is unusually pale. Cuff them. Well, they'll have to count on their own luck, Sisses. I just hope my wife and kid are lucky enough. Most of the vehicles here are probably the same as me. No home to return to. We can only stay elsewhere until they finish cleaning up the site. Alana just turns back for a look. The truck jacker is gazing out the side window with a calm look on her face.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
They're coming.
What?
The grabbers. They're gonna board the truck.
Who? Not a soul in sight headed our way. Alamis follows the truckjacker's line of sight and finally realizes what she was referring to. A group of security officers at the checkpoints are chatting with the driver in front, while another group enters the vehicle with protective gear and violent intent. Soon after, they drag the driver out of the car. His sleeves are cut open, with blood flowing from the exposed origin, IUM crystals on his arms. Alamis suddenly feels inexplicably uneasy.
They're searching. For infected.
In the truck's tiny tool room, Little Pot Lid is keeping her word.
That Goddess hijacker lady is so weird. But she and Len S are looking pretty chummy. Did she really hijack the truck? I guess Len and Ness is so powerful. She can turn anyone into a friend, though. Monitor on the little terminal.
Seems like she doesn't want to hurt anyone.
Are we going back to our roots? Can we postpone the truck's retirement?
I don't know, no.
Huh?
What's wrong?
Just out of the blue here? Why are you in here with me too, mister? This is a secret room. Closed to the public.
Oh no, my. Well, I got a little scared. No. Not a little. I'm already otherwise scared. This is my first hijacking you. Why? Just hurry to the first door I saw. Can you let me stay here? I'll squeeze myself into this corner and won't take up too much space. And I won't disturb your work either.
Huh? Sure. But if you're scared... Oh, then why didn't you get us off the truck before?
Don't know why myself. Scared is one thing, but deep inside, I also felt a sudden relief. Like I might run into something even scarier if I got off the truck. I also want this truck to go as far and as long as it can.
Me? Why would I? Leoness is still here, so there's no way I could leave her on her own.
Len and S, you're referring to the truck driver. Are you two family?
Family? I don't know. I left home so long ago. Len and S is a little like Daddy. And also Mommy. If she's like everyone, then it also means she isn't like any of them at all either, right? Len answers Len and S. She made a bet with her friends, and then they're So, we can't be family, right? We just live together. We've always been living together on this truck.
The exit is right before her eyes. But the gates lie shut, blocking the vehicle. A few security officers walk to the cabin and knock on the window. Alamis hesitates for a moment, but gets out of the truck anyway.
What's up, Mitt?
Routine inspection.
Do you have to inspect public transport vehicles too? Look, here's my operating license.
Special circumstances. Please cooperate.
No, that can't be right. There were so many trucks in front just now. But you let them all go through. Now you stop us when it's my turn. Crikey, Bloody Luxus is off the charts today. What with all these nice things happening to me?
Sir, don't bother with her. I just checked the vehicle's identification number, and they came from Big Villa. You know, they've got tons of messily managed mines over there. And they don't standardize safety procedures either. Lots of infected. Your vehicle ID isn't from Green Meadow, and we inspect all vehicles from out of town.
And what if I refuse?
Then our well-equipped security will politely ask you out of your truck for a more in-depth investigation at our office. We might lock you up for a few days or months, confiscate your vehicle, revoke your license, and hit you with a nasty fine. The specific steps we'll take will depend on how long you decide to keep messing with me.
Mate, ain't this a bit much? I've been driving for years and passed a lot of checkpoints. But this is a first.
The security officers raise their crossbows at Alamis.
Fine. Only the driver has to cooperate with the inspection. Yeah? Everybody else here is passengers.
Passenger.
Yeah, they're all.
At this point, Alamis turns back, looking toward the passenger cabin's open door and the situation within.
She's a passenger. Bought a ticket. The equipment you've got on hand looks like it's out of rags? All the checkpoints I've been through. This is the first time I've seen anyone checking infection status. If the passenger isn't willing to get this checked, you'll put me in a spot of trouble. If she complains to the operating company.
Not with your guff. We're coming aboard. The party of passengers sit next to one another with an orb-wise screening device each on their hands. Alana is more worried about the others than herself. Pot Lid dips her head down, staring blankly at the device's progress bar. The truck jacker looks at the security officer, sitting across from her, through the open door, and at every corner of the checkpoints. The Zalek who was unwilling to get us off the truck earlier is seated a short distance away from her, his legs shaking. Now what's with these two in a hidden compartment? Did you know they were on board?
Of course I did.
And you deliberately hid them from us?
That's. You lot gave me such a fright with your fierce mugs. I forgot to mention them. I'm sure we can talk this out.
Whose device was that? A single bead of sweat trickles down Alana's cheek. The security officers do not look the least bit accommodating as they surround them. Looks like things are about to get us tougher. She needs to figure out a solution to this predicament. And quick, or else.
Well, sir, dear sir, this passenger here, she's just a little kid. She's come here to Green Meadow. Her sure to look for her dad. I hear her father works in a smelting plant and it's been about a year since he's been home. The walls and gates at this checkpoints, and even the materials used in these testing devices might be the fruits of his labor. This tiny goddess, she only gets one ride every 2, maybe 3 months, just to see her hardworking father. She's a regular rider on our truck. And this has never happened before. Everyone usually just breezes right through here. With all due respect, sir, would you make things difficult for such a poor little girl who misses her Addie so very much?
There's been a flood of evacuees here from the Double Helmet mine disaster. Our superiors expect us to tamp down the influx of infected here. So this is not about making things difficult. We're just doing our job. Guess is moving. I saw it last night. Alanis is clear as day. That kid you've kept hiding in your truck for the last 2 years. She's infected. No wonder you never bring her to see us. You bloody clown. Going all the way just for a dumb bet. Your damn stubborn competitiveness and bottomless pride. I always said you'd drag yourself into trouble like that. Taking some others down with you.
Wait, Mr. Inspector, sir, we'll head right out of here. Straight back where we came from. Right away. What do I say?
The checkpoints is our jurisdiction too. So you still have to comply with us. Even if you don't intend to cross.
Sir, I'll pay the toll here, or even an additional fine. Or just impound the UTE and even drag me away. I'll cooperate with your investigation. I'm begging you. Just let the kid go, please?
Potlid has never seen Nalamasaz with such an expression in their time together. Alanis has always been brave, fearless, and one might even say an art. She makes funny faces, blows up her past experiences, and explodes into laughter without a care for her own image. But now she's pleading with the officers, in such an unbecoming way. For Potlid's sake, take her away.
Lena, it's okay.
Don't.
You don't have to see me off. I'm just stepping out for a second. I'll come find you in a bit. When and S?
Any other infected? This one too. Then she goes to. Where is she? A crossbow bolt flies out, interrupting the security officers preparing to board and inspect the vehicle. A flurry of additional bolts follows up, forcing them to retreat. Yes, sir. A punch, a kick, a crossbow slam. A few officers knocked down with grimaces on their faces. Another volley of bolts rips through their clothes and pins them to the ground. The truck jacker steps over the messy pile of limbs till she reaches Pot Lid.
Let's go.
W, you haven't.
Gets us the UT. He started. What's the matter?
Puff back in the truck. Let's go. Right. What about you? Your device didn't beep. Did it? Why did you hop off?
I'm a little scared. So, wherever you lot go, I'll follow.
You're not going anywhere. The officer grabs Zolike's cuff, causing him to nearly trip, and he stomps on the officer's hand while balancing himself. H, my fingers.
So or what? I'm really sorry. We'll be going now.
We're surrounded.
Probably back up. Stir TH. Shit's escalating real fast. What do we do now?
I counted more than 40 of them. The whole squad's armed with anti-armor. And a thick steel gate in front of us. I have no good ideas.
Ideas? Ideas. Actually, I got a good one. It's super risky, but I'll brag about it for years if we succeed.
What?
I gotta say, Jacker, this UTE of mine ain't no regular truck. Wanna know its full name? It's called Earthrock Excavating Bottle Tree Transplanting Crew Carrying Intercity Transporter. Excavating unbottled trees aside. You know the 2 steel beams at the Rust Drag town entrance? This beauty propped them up. And of course, you're looking at the very driver responsible.
Vanessa! Your hands are shaking.
Shut it. Sit down tight. We're going in.
Can I just... Is there anything we can use to patch up these holes? A little chilly.
Several holes at the vehicle's exterior, funneling the wild winds from outside and messing up the Zolakay's hair.
Now tea we can do. Just bear with it. Who even are you?
I'm just an ordinary passenger. I'm a good guy. Really. Look, here's my ID.
Jerry. But I'm afraid we don't have any use for good Jerrys right now.
Don't worry about me. I won't tell a soul what happened back there.
Well, it is what it is. Everyone here's an accomplice now. So, no one's getting away. Got that, Jacker? We Ray LL Jackers now. Also, thanks for that. Thanks a lot for saving Pot Lid.
My device went off too. They would have sent us to the infected treatment zone if they took us away. But I still need to get this to the Grinning Valley.
Alright. We're off to the Grinning Valley now. The truck's final destination. But we might not have enough fuel for our trip. So we'd better find a mobile platform to resupply. And find a way to patch up my battered UTE while we're at it. Otherwise, it'll be tough to explain to the company when I hand her back.
All right.
Right. So what's your name?
The miners all call me Ray.
Alrighty, Ray. Still feel like Jacker rolls off the tongue easier though. Say, Jacker, you got me a bit curious. You hijacked this UT and beat up those officers without a care. What in Terra's name are you after in the Grinning Valley? That place isn't exactly car-friendly, and I hear it's basically just wasteland ruins after catastrophes wrecked it. Or do you mean there might be some treasure to find there? Out with it, mate. It'll be worth all that noise if there's something good in store for us.
I'm looking for a huge shadow.
A what?
A shadow as tall as a mountain, shooting rays of light through the fog. It can talk too.
It can talk? WHA? What kind of bloody creature is that?
Stage, Street 3. The ragtag band of accomplices stops at a nomadic platform for supplies en route to the Grinning Valley. The skittish and terrified Jerry is worried that a certain someone might catch up to him after he skipped out on his engagement, and is equally scared that the security officers from the checkpoints are out to get him. During the wild chase, he happens to find himself hiding with a woman, and the two develop feelings for each other.
Life itself is a sort of profound horror. You don't know where it's going to take you. Even worse, even when there aren't 30-some-odd siblings and hundreds of other relatives clamoring to make your decisions for you, you still sometimes find yourself under attack. Out of nowhere, such as that. Right now, there are no think tanks. No. There's no way this could be wrong because everyone believes it. Only a bandit pulling up with a crossbow in the sand, kicking up as hard as he drives. I've made peace with my fate.
I don't think we can pass through Windy Beach. That place is catastrophe central. Each year, up to 70,000 trucks are damaged or destroyed when passing through. But that's not the point. Our transports is already pretty beat up. Okay, also, you should take a look at this. In addition to catastrophes, there are other factors that can worsen the damage to a vehicle. Origin IUM fuel leakage, transmission failure leading to secondary incidents. Explosions in close proximity to mining sites. So we'll want to steer clear of the mines. Hey, are you listening?
That's right. Hot lid. Climb up from here. Saw off the branch. Then connect the hose to the top of the tree.
It's so heavy now, but it's okay. The ankle braces Lananas gave me are very secure. Just imagine that you're a big tree MUS beast. Use the braces to hold on to the tree, and jump up with a whoosh. I know I can do this, and make everyone happy. My back feels lighter all of a sudden.
Oi, Jacker. I didn't tell you to do that.
Sure. You didn't tell me to do anything. But I have experience collecting water from bottle trees.
Okay, so you have a heart after all. But I still need you to return Potlid's tools. After all, I certainly trust my old partner a whole lot more than I trust the random Jacker. Besides, it's not like we're really trying to become a bottle tree water delivery truck. We just need to put on enough of a disguise before entering the city that nobody can tell it's an intercity transport that's gone off routes. Slap some decoration on as well. Don't let anyone see that the OL girl's been punched full of holes before being patched over with sheet metal. Potlid, let's go over our cover story with the Jacker here.
好温暖的房间呀。需要用木湖面板来调节吗？ If anyone asks, tell them we're transporting this bottle tree. And the water in the trunks has got to be bucket tied up for transport into the factory. As for the tree branch decorations on the vehicle, it's just a little something the boss enjoys.
That's right. Bulletproof cover story, if I do say so myself. Never would have imagined that these bottle trees would be saving our hides when we're running from catastrophes on our long detour. Whoever decided to plant these bottle trees in the middle of nowhere. Thank you. And of course, that includes me as well. Alrighty. Time to hop back into the driver's cabin.
Are you listening to me? I just want to remind everyone that, every year, 300,000 people suffer fractures aboard transport vehicles for various reasons. 15,000 of which are attributed to bottle trees tipping over in transit.
Just ignore him. I'll start the water pump slowly so there's no risk of falling off the tree.
Accidents always happen.
Alright, I'm starting her up. Hold on tight. Potlid.
Every year, there are 1,000 more people who die to tree trunks bending during sudden strong wind.
I did it. Linus. Oh, pumps is starting to hum as it drains the water out of the tree trunks. I love when this happens.
Why else would I say I trust you?
Actually, there's a chance the water pumps might explode as well.
What's your deal? Is that a death note you're holding or what? Every year, I hear about an old friend or two ends up contracting Orpus wire gets caught up in a catastrophe, regardless of what field they work in. No avoiding it. If we go by what you say, we're all better off not working in the first place.
I just wanted to give you some points of reference from my limited knowledge and experience. Just trying to help. Do marketing for an insurance company.
Insurance?
It's the best thing I've seen advertised in years. I've already bought a bunch of policies. And hope to get this Colombian company's name out there. But I'm a bit skittish, afraid of everything. But there's insurance for everything I'm scared of, including dangers I had no idea even existed. Look, these are my notes. Data collected from several of our company's advertisements. Telling you about all the dangers you would never think of. Also, they promise to compensate me in the event that something actually does happen.
Phew. So, how do you plan to spend that money if you're dead? It'd be pretty cool if they invented a way to continue living after you die, though.
I'm afraid there's not much we can do about that.
Then, what's the point? Listen up. You help dress the vehicle up, and we'll take it on over to the nearby nomadic platform. Need to check if a buddy of mine is home. How many vehicles run into catastrophes each year? And where? Doesn't mean shit to me. I'll just ask her straight up for a safe route to the Grinning Valley safely. And that'll be the end of things.
How'd we even get us to this point? I thought the little girl would just hide quietly in the vehicle. So all I had to do was squeeze into a tall room with her. Felt like the safest thing at the time. But then she wanted to go visit friends and relatives with phrases, leaving me alone in the vehicle. Here I am, alone in a hijacked transport harboring infected people. Forced to work. Getting shot at with rocket launchers more than once. I can't handle these people chasing me. So I don't care who it is, who I have to follow. Just don't make me deal with this whole mess alone. TH, this is all the money in my wallet. Here, take the whole thing. I never said I wasn't willing to follow you. I mean, it's only natural to not want to be a hostage.
Hostage.
I guess is it. You're the jacker. So if I go with you, I'll end up a hostage. You were so cool when you saved those people. Like a real Haiwan Mai. TH, that's not what I meant. I'm just trying to say you're really impressive.
Me? Impressive?
WHY, yes. That's right. You're not mad, are you? Thank goodness. There's one thing I wanted to ask you. Alana says supplies we need to make the long distance trip. So, can we just do it like that and not resort to robbing people? See, I've even given you my wallet now. There might not be much money in there, but it should be enough to cover food and fuel.
All right.
That's a relief. Oh, right. Something was rubbing me the wrong way. You know how the men at the checkpoints were looking at us funny. I'm a professional. Do you think that we're already under suspicion?
It's just I never said I wanted to take a hostage. I said anyone who wanted to get us off was free to go. Why don't you go?
So? I thought I told you before.
I want to go to the Grinning Valley. That has nothing to do with you. It's a long and dangerous journey. And I knew that going in. Which is why I gave you the chance to hop off. You're scared of danger. So why are you still here?
Since you're such a nice person, would you mind coming with me to have a look at the newsstand? I can explain. No. Normally, this wouldn't be. Ray, my face is hidden by the newspaper, isn't it? Now let's take a good look here. I haven't made it onto the list of missing persons yet. Even if they did realize someone was missing, it wouldn't make it into the papers within a single day.
What about wanted persons?
Not seeing anything. Yes. It isn't what you think. Skipped out on my marriage. It's not that I got cold feet. I was taking this transport on my way to attend my engagement ceremony in another city when you hijacked it. But then I realized I was pretty happy about that. So, I guess that isn't some big deal either. And because it's not a big deal, I'm kind of embarrassed to talk about it. I don't know how it is with your family. But in my case, I've got Deriski's brothers and sisters, and lots of other relatives. So you find plenty of stuff ends up not worth talking about, huh? Alright. So maybe you don't get it. I also know there are lots of people with huge families that don't deal with this sort of thing.
Sorry. Can't help you with that one, though.
Hold on. There are uniformed men coming this way. The same as the last checkpoints is
I didn't grow up in a big family. Those houses, all joined together neatly, look so beautiful. But I didn't know where I ought to settle myself down. The Sala case gone. He probably decided to leave on his own. Should have hopped off to begin with.
Good day. Now, we'd like to have a little chat with you.
Don't be scared. Pot lead. The pictures on the wall might be a bit spooky, but the lady here isn't into anything too weird. She takes pictures of giant beast carcasses in the primordial forest, plus the bones of explorers in the morass. But she's never hurt anybody. Well, at least, she probably wouldn't hurt anyone. Huh, you're not even talking back when I call you pot lid. Where'd your spirit go? You hungry or something? Dunno if we can count on the jacker at all. But hopefully she manages to bring the stuff back without any issues. I'll show you a neat hack later. You can use solar panels to fry up some instant noodle cakes and foul beast eggs. Put the past behind you. Anyways, I have a solution now. Doesn't the jacker seem odd to you? Or maybe even a bit crazy? That's why I decided to meet this friend and ask her about the situation. His shadow as tall as a mountain? And it can talk? If a thing like that really exists in Rimbilliton, my friend surely would have heard of it. But if the jacker simply had too much to drink, or went into the mines without a helmet and hit her head, well, I'll have to figure something else out. Don't worry. Hey, don't call me Elana of the barren lands for nothing. I'll always figure something out.
Gets his loss. And be quick about it. I'm busy with my travel notes. Didn't you see the sign on the door? Why, not many know about my temporary studio in the first place. Which rag do you work for? And how'd you manage to track me down?
Len and Sue. Didn't you say you were old friends? She doesn't seem to recognize you.
Well, the old part means we haven't seen each other in a long time. Hey, remember that time we went down to Big Hammer Mine? There was that one mangler beast trying to tear us apart. Reckon that was the biggest mangler beast known to man. Right. He's the one on the wall there. I was behind the wheel when you took this photo.
Huh? Alright. I don't care who you are, or what you want, but I'll give you 10 minutes. Don't test my patience. Sorry to occupy your precious time. But I have to vent a bit. This is the single darkest day I've ever suffered. Of course, I know that you don't actually exist. I've just gotten used to having someone to talk to ever since I was little. After all, there were always so many people talking at once back home, and I had the faintest voice. Anyway, all I wanted to say was, it's way too dark under this truck.
38. At least 2 mouthfists of dirt won't send me to the hospital, even if this is the Drides and on the chassis we're talking about, huh? Alright. I can feel it. This should be the access door leading to the power room on the bottom level. It's too scary to walk around outside. So I squeeze back inside the vehicle to wait for them to return. I'm not sure if Frey's gonna be coming back. I feel bad leaving her behind like that. But it's not like I did it on purpose. 1, 2, finally. The valve opened. Oh no. I said sorry. I got in the wrong vehicle. I'll be leaving now.
Hold it. I hear something coming from under the vehicle.
Oh no.
Quiet down. If you blow my cover, nothing good's going to come of it.
We can't afford to let those damned metal crabs crawl into the station anymore. The last time one got in, it totaled 3 vehicles. Unchecked to people to boot. Go grab it, Ort. I need to take a look.
Come out.
Yeah. I got these coupons from somebody else. I don't know much about your market here.
Then why the hell are you answering our market research questions?
Because you asked them.
Alright then. I guess we have to throw out that whole transcript. Sorry for bothering you. None.
No worries. Monthly promo magazine. Clip this for 10 off compressed canned food. When did this kind of stuff start showing up? Alana's is pretty incredible. She's got all the little details worked out in life. Everything down the list. On Friday, go grab a scarf from the old man with a stuffed tail. And gets us a friend's discount from his daughter. Yeah. She's got everything figured out. Down to the day. This stack of papers can be used in the 3 million trolleys supermarket. And this stack... That's right, Doctor. Actually, even my own memory is a bit fuzzy. It's as if Rimbilliton has always been like this. Rusty factories. Steel frames stacked on top of each other. A gray skycap. On the origin, a UM clusters towering in the horizon.
Amiya, I really would like for you to be able to go home and have a good look around. I was looking for your parents for a long while. But after the attack on the engineering team, the nomadic plate you used to live on got dismantled. The place we're standing right now probably has the most stuff from the old plate.
No worries. Savage. Oh, this is enough. Thank you so much. Just smelling the rust, oil, and welding rods is bringing back memories. It's as if I've gone back in time. Oh, what am I even saying? It's only been a few years. It's just, I can still feel myself sitting in the back of a construction truck, following my parents and the other folks on the engineering team, waiting for them to set out from the plate.
It's a common practice in many large families. The household oftentimes the engineering team. If the team has to go work in some faraway place, they'll take the old and the young with them, to make sure they're taken care of. Of course, not all the people in the family are necessarily blood related. Sometimes, they'll be considered part of the household just by living in the same part of the factory.
Oh, Doctor. There's no need to feel bad for me. It's not like I was thinking about the accident. And besides, I'd already carefully thought through what I was searching for, even before I came to Rimbilliton. Oh, Doctor, look over there. I still remember that smokestack.
That's wrong. Mia?
I suddenly remembered challenging the other kids to see who could crawl down there, the farthest while keeping their tails as clean as possible. It was totally fine. None of us wanted to get scolded by the adults back home, so we never went too far down.
But when's the last time I heard of Mia talking like this?
I'm afraid you don't qualify. Doctor, you don't have a tail.
Crikey, when's the last time I heard of Mia talking like this?
I'm not the same 6 or 7-year-old kid I was back then either. But, at last, I found something I recognize.
This is still Rimbilliton after all. It's how we build our houses. Old buildings are incredibly useful, so there's no need to dismantle them. If you want a new house, just build right on top of it, which is why the elders tell us from the time we're little.
Adventurous folk. No matter how far they travel, always know home when they come back to it. That being said, a lot of things have changed as well. For example, the infected persons management law we just came across seems to be imitating Li Thangin's legal framework in Victoria's jargon. Mama, I've noticed. Doctor, I don't think I've seen her before. Also, I don't think any of the people who took care of me before would recognize me now. Let's keep moving. Doctor, I'm sure it's fine. The coupon flyer and the shopping list to go with it have gotten all mixed up. No way. What did Alana tell me to get this again?
So that's the whole deal. The stretch from Windy Beach to the Grinning Valley is the most catastrophe-prone place. Say the messengers. I've seen it myself too.
Oh? What's so special about the place?
Well, you could say that its ecology is.
Is what?
Devoid of foul shit. Though Billy's natural geography is generally pretty barren to begin with. This area is so barren that you won't even find foul beast droppings. You want an easy route to not even in your dreams. If you want a road paved for you, you can look towards the rocks raining from the sky. And don't expect to find anything fun to do either. All you find is the usual Billy stuff ready to kill at the drop of a hat.
Alright, so other than the foul beasts that don't poop, any other special creatures to look out for?
Other creatures? Well, there's a scary number of sand beasts. And listen to me here. You don't want anything to do with them. They'll mess you up.
Sure. Got it. Sand beasts. Nothing unusual about those. Isn't there anything a bit more talkative, shining, incredibly huge? Anything along those lines?
How would I know? I'm not even a professional explorer, let alone a cryptid biologist.
Come on. Don't be in such a rush to shoo us away. Let me just ask you one last time. Rays of light. A shadow as tall as a mountain. Talking. These words don't mean anything to you, right?
Say that again. One more time.
Rays of light. A shadow as tall as a mountain. Talks.
Yeah, that's a thing.
What?
So, what a pain. In the end, I really did remember something for your sake. For an MUT.
What language is that?
Sargonian. course, not many know the word to begin with.
Huh, where's Sargonia? I mean, it doesn't matter here. You should be using your precious time to tell me what that word means.
Huh. Didn't you hear what I just said? Almost nobody knows the word at all. So, I've got no way of explaining it. Anything would just come out silly. Nobody's ever really studied exactly what a foreign MUT is. It's just a vague concept that I happen to hear about. Forget it. Just act like you never heard anything from me. Don't even think about it. And certainly don't go throwing that word around. Nothing irks my tail more than fake news getting spread all over the place. I just end up running around for nothing.
Alright. I'll forget you ever said anything.
Don't need your thanks or your words of praise. Your 10 minutes are up. And the door is that way. Are we clear?
Yeah, clear as day. Although, I'm still going to thank you anyway. The first bit you said, that this is a thing. That's good enough for me.
Hint. Rays of light. Shadows as tall as mountains. Thoran Mutt. Who the hell would believe anything so crazy? These made-up legends are growing out of control. People really ought to stop trying to mess with me. How about? I finish these Gotham investigation reports and head on over to the Grinning Valley to take a look.
How do you think?
If you're planning on going. Oh. Then of course you have my full support. Even though I don't know anything about exploring or archaeology. There has to be some way I can help.
Huh? No. I was asking how you felt about getting kicked out after 10 minutes. Didn't you tag along so I wouldn't lose track of time chatting with my old friend? Looks like I didn't need your supervision. You know, when you really can't muster a smile, you don't have to force yourself. Even just a bit. If you're tired and want to vent, I'll make sure nobody sees you.
I finally found a nice tunnel I can hide in. I'm saved.
Huh?
Hurry. Gets as your rear in there.
As a friendly reminder, the left side's the sewage pipeline of the Scale CS processing factory. I'd hop over to the other side, if I were you.
Thanks a million. Oh wait, fancy running into you here. I can explain. I think someone's seen through our disguise and is setting up near the checkpoints. Ray seems to have gotten herself tangled up. But I'm sure she has a way out.
Just a sec. The people chasing you are after us because of what we've done.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, my thing definitely doesn't matter. I just happened to be hiding in the wrong place. So I got caught up in this Kairos mess again. Grab the rope, Jerry. Why, yeah. And then you can lower me down. In any case, that's the situation. Don't worry about me. Gotta run for now.
Did he actually get himself involved? Or is he just running because he happened to see someone else running? But you know, pot lid, don't you the one next to him looks kind of familiar?
Life really is terrifying. And you can't run away from it. No matter how much you might want to. Well, actually, I've never wanted to run away. I always went with the flow, safely and securely, along with my Thirdiski's other siblings and the other 300,000 people in the city. After all, you naturally gravitate towards whatever's the most stable. But I got attacked out of nowhere. I ended up skipping out on my engagement. And now I'm actually on the run with my very own defeat. I don't know why. But, even as I'm being chased by all sorts of things and running for my life, in the end, a door always opens for me.
Hint. Are things getting better or worse for us? Logically speaking, if there's a nest of metal crabs beneath the sewer, we ought to contact the security officer. That's what it says under the Beware of Wildlife signs. Bad news is, we just barged straight into their home in our attempt to escape. I can't feel my lungs anymore. Don't slow down now. Unless you want to end cut to ribbons by those pincers. I really can't deal with this whole running away thing. Do I come across as some career criminal who's constantly on the run? I just wanted people to think I went missing, so I crawled into the bed of my hardware store's delivery truck and went to sleep for a day. Then, the cargo box ended up getting transported away as usual, and I found myself waking up in someone else's vehicle. And here we are. You're not a career criminal. I thought I saw your face somewhere before on a wanted poster. Oh, B, but I don't mean to say that you look generic or ordinary.
You know, I've had a question in my mind. You really went and helped someone you thought was a wanted criminal.
Why, I just felt like I had no choice from the very beginning. I didn't know why those men were even chasing me. Wes, I think you're actually a good egg. Same as the ladies who abducted me and brought me here. They're actually pretty decent.
So loud.
Hold on. Where are we? I've got an idea.
Let's hear it.
Huh? You're letting me call the shots. This is rather new for me. Long story short, that sounds the smelting plant's automatic waste filtration and disposal system. I've seen someone falling off it in one of our company ads. He suffered a terrible fracture. My point is, if people can fall from it, that also means there has to be a way up. We might be able to climb on top of that thing. There's no way the metal crabs could chase us up that high. And our pursuers would never expect us to leave the factory. Let's go this way.
You want us to walk across these rickety platforms that look like they could flip over at a moment's notice? Along these iron slabs that could easily send us flying?
It's not completely impossible. The robotic arms are on a timer. I'll climb up first and look for the control room. As long as I manually operate the arms. I saw Alana driving the transport. The operating lever for this mechanical platform should be just like that vehicle shifter was. I might be able to pull this off. I just need to give it a shot. I mean, I can't say for sure if it's going to work or not. But
I trust you. You can do it. Just go for it.
you trust me. Not only are you willing to let me call the shots, but you're also placing your faith in me. Dear Lord, not one of my Thirdsky siblings has ever dared. You're also smart and independent. Just like them. I'm sorry, Lyra. But the platform's taller than I expected. Could you give me a little boost?
A boost? Here?
TH, that works too. But I was kind of thinking my back or legs. Whoa, you're strong. Great, I made it up.
Awesome. And you're nothing like the elders constantly trying to dictate my life. So what you're saying is, nobody's onto us. Nobody's tracking us. You didn't kill anyone with this, did you?
Yeah. No. There were so many things on your shopping list. I didn't have a free hand to draw my weapon.
All right, as long as you didn't cause any trouble. I've had more than my fair share of excitement. That incident at the checkpoints was already hard enough on Potlid. Where'd our resident coward go?
Phil, we're finally safe. We actually did it.
Thank you. I really mean that. Thank you so much.
My timid heart's still ready to jump out of my rickbitch. I actually followed through with a decision? And such a dangerous one at that.
Quit bashing yourself over the head with your briefcase already. People are staring.
It's just that. I'm a lot more used to going along with other people's plans. I had a big family, and things got pretty loud.
Yeah. I get this here. Most people are pretty much the same. Everyone joins in, and things gets as noisy. Whether or not they're actually blood-related. It's been a good decade since one of my sisters went out to travel across the lands. And a lot of the others don't even remember that she left from Billiton. What I'm trying to say is, It's perfectly normal to be forgotten. Just as it's perfectly normal for 20 or 30 people to suddenly remember you at once and start talking about the same things on repeat.
How right you are. You know, I skipped out on my engagement today, which is how I ended up out here. It's also why I'm so afraid of getting caught. Well, actually, the whole thing was foisted onto me because of a little dust-up. But afterwards, I realized that I was pretty happy to be getting out of that marriage. It hadn't dawned upon me until then that I was really against the whole arrangement. I don't even know the first thing about the woman I'm engaged to. I just felt like so many smart people in the family said I should do it. So it had to be the right thing.
Right? I totally gets as you. The elders in my family always try to push their experiences onto me. And I got so sick and tired of their nagging that I wanted to disappear. Even though I left the old factories and went to carrots to an assembly line, they still packed themselves into a transport for a solid half day just to tell me that they found me a proper man. If I'd gone along with it, then I would have missed everything that happened today. It's nothing. You go ahead.
Kyra, I'm just thinking. The two of us have a pretty good rapport. My company recently rolled out a new insurance plan with really broad coverage. I don't know if you'd be interested or not. But...
Insurance. I'd be glad to help you with your work. Since I do owe you one for today. But what kind of insurance are we talking about here? And how much does it cost?
No. Miss Kyra. That's not what I meant. It won't cost you any money. I just wanted to ask, how would you feel about becoming the beneficiary of this insurance plan I just bought?
Beneficiary?
In other words, if anything happens to me, then the company will pay you a large sum of money. As for the specific terms, I can go over the details with you. If you have time, a beneficiary is someone very important to me. Goodness. What's gotten into me? Am I making decisions for myself again? And I swear, this has to be the most important decision of my life. I know. This is all very sudden. But it's how I really feel. I just had to blurt it out, Tal. The old me would have just kept it bottled up in my heart. Thinking over and over about how to get the words out. And if I did get them out, worrying if I stuttered or not. Am I not stuttering anymore? It's no big deal, though. If you don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't have sprung it on you like that. Maybe.
I'll do it. It's more in line with my personal principles than going along with whatever the elders have planned for me.
You're fine with it? Oh my god. I really have to tell my siblings that I'm not going to let them lead me around by the nose forever.
Totally. They're always going on about how they've been through so much and know better. My whole family's got a suite of rules when it comes to who we marry.
Like how everyone loves a goddess with long ears.
Huh? Quotas?
Yes. I'm the only Zalak in the family. I guess I got handed off to this family when I was little. Same as people forget about me. Besides, what big family isn't cobbled together like this? And they like loud talkers.
My relatives are more into the quiet types.
And industrious.
Who know how to make a sales pitch.
Even their appearance. Wait.
You just mentioned that you were skipping out on an engagement ceremony, didn't you?
If we don't leave now, we'll be surrounded by drivers bringing wine barrels over to collect bottled tree water. Won't be able to get us out of here.
I know that already. Seriously. Didn't that Alex say he was scared to death that something terrible would happen as soon as he left the vehicle?
I told him everyone's free to get us off whenever they want. And I wouldn't do anything to stop him.
Nah, the way he was talking. I think he was scared he'd run into the girl he was engaged to.
Hurry up and give me your contact.
Huh?
I'll send you the details later. Wedding invitations.
Huh?
As far as I can tell, the road ahead should be pretty safe. No traces of big beasties. No sign of the ground getting hollowed out by the wildlife.
Maybe that last blessing Nizala left you is actually doing something for us after all. Have a safe trip. And you'll definitely find what you're looking for.
For MUT, huh?
Pretty tough. Just going by the sound of that word. Huh? If you walked up to me and told me, we're going to go find the fur in MUT, I wouldn't have questioned it for a moment. Though, I didn't think you'd also read the road conditions.
Hardly. I don't have much experience. I'm not a real lookout. I just think looking out into the distance with binoculars is pretty neat. That's all.
Cleared. The power system's temperature display seems a bit off. Decker, did we miss something just now? Like, a geyser spewing steam by the side of the road, or active origin IUM on the surface causing a small-scale explosion?
Nope. I made sure of it.
What about Potlid? Where'd she get us herself to while we were looking outside? Wait, is she in a tower room?
Sage Street 4. Wormai's origin IUM art suddenly go out of control in the middle of nowhere. Fortunately, they happen to run into Amiya, the doctor, and Savage after their trip down memory lane. And the incident subsides. The Rhodes Island group decides to tag along on the journey to the Grinning Valley in search of a fur in MUT. Red, afraid of Wormai losing control again, finally opens her heart.
Normally, we don't get this closure right when something happens. Just like when Mum and Dan Gemma had that argument in the middle of the night. Such a noisy one awoke the neighbors. They were arguing about the same old. How should the factory go about starting up the wheat grinder and the rice miller without disturb the workers' rest? Just like those young Billy businessmen who helped the farmers and factory workers build a coalition during the cage incident. Even though they made an effort to break free of the grasp of the counts in the Victorian Chamber of Commerce. How many of them were just in it for the business? How many of them actually cared about the future of the Rimbilitanians? Also, just like that one trip, with the doctor and Amiya, maybe some questions will always have some sort of closure.
Wasn't heading back to the nomadic platform to search for traces of your childhood just the first stop along the journey? Like, what happened to the second stop? And third stop? And so on? I filled a tank of gas and even prepped a portable stove in the tent. The Rimbilliton Miners Cup is in the group stage right now. If we head straight south, we might make it in time for the cross-country bird and beast race across Big Hammermine. Or maybe we could go for some of Rimbilliton's local specialties. I've committed a lot of fantastic eateries to memory over the last few years, especially the ones that have opened up inside hollowed-out mining tunnel. Outsit said that you guys don't have any work coming up for the next little while. So why not put that whole Victoria thing on the back burner for now? There's no need to be pushy. Savage. It's not that I'm too worried about what's over the horizon to enjoy the trip or anything. What I mean is, I think I might prefer how we used to do things before. Like just wandering around without any particular goal in mind. Well, that might not be entirely accurate either. I'm sure the doctor had some idea of where we were going. Because as far as I can remember, it seems like new things are happening every day. And there are always different sights to see. Which were to casually tour through Rimbilliton's barren lands. We'd probably just be seeing a whole lot of sand, mines, and origin IUM clusters. Well, about that, I think that's more so you're having a streak of bad lucks as is, and getting yourselves into trouble the whole way here. At least Amaya's more than capable of holding her own now, and I'm not the same empty-headed, hot-blooded newbie I was before. Even if we run into a scrap, I'm sure we can resolve it without too much hassle. Sorry about that, Doctor. Doctor, are you all right? Did you bump your head? What was that sound just now? Doctor, if you've hurt your head, please speak up, What happened? Why'd you suddenly slam on the brakes?
Take a look over there. See that transport vehicle over there coughing up smoke? Jacker, go get us some bottled tree water. The more the better.
All right.
Bring a tarp over and help me hold her up.
All right.
Then, grab some tape and tie her to the condensate pipe. Then dip her feet in cold water and give her a good soak.
Okay. But... what?
Call it a trade secret. Doesn't matter if it's a fever or a burn. This is the fastest way to cool down. Medicine's fine and all, but you sometimes need to tackle the external problem head on. And this is the way you do it.
When
Don't worry, there's nothing to be scared of. I've got meds. I figured something like this would happen sooner or later. Hurry up and drink. Where am I?
She's burning up.
She has the strength to swallow the meds, so it's not as bad as it could be. The fever should be going down soon. Yeah, I know it can't be that serious. Trust me.
All right. I believe you. But assuming I don't think what she has is a fever.
I know. It's her arts. She used them to fiddle with the temperature of the power plant again, without my permission. Today dawned on me a lot earlier when I realized how smooth the ride was and how much power we had driving on these roads. I don't know how many times I've told her not to go around casting with her bare hands, but she just can't get it drilled into her head. She's always eager to prove her own worth. Silly girl. What a darn fool. I knew from the moment she got in the truck that she was dumb and stubborn. Damn dipstick.
We can always find a doctor. We're not that far from a platform.
You're not getting anything from those docs that I can't already do. Trust me. We'll be fine. I'll get us through this.
If you say so. The power cabins is getting hotter and hotter.
Yeah? Can't tell. Since my back's still dripping cold sweat. ATH. She's burning up. Oh, is she this hot? I've got another folk remedy. Can you go catch some Origin IUM slugs?
There's the bell. Someone wants to board.
DAH. Go chase them off. Jacker.
No. You should go. It'll be bad if her arts go out of control. She'll hurt herself. And others too.
What are you trying to say? No way. No way it would come to that. Not a chance. She's my own adopted daughter. You just wait. Wait. I'll take care of this whole mess. I'll be right back.
If an infected gets sick, or if their arts start going out of control, it should be another infected to deal with it. That way, even if they disintegrate, it at least won't create new victims. That's standard protocol on the job.
Gets us out.
Wait a sec. I'm the driver for that vehicle over there. I've got two. Do you need any help?
Help? With what? I'm doing just fine over here. We're just taking a little break over here. So, if you want to help, buggering off would do us just fine.
Huh? But your UTE over there is giving off white smoke. Does it look to be in great shape?
That's just how it is. I'm the one driving it. Think you know her better than me.
Sorry. I'd still like to get Susan and have a look around.
I don't have time to give you a ride. Last warning. Go away, or I'll make you go away.
You're shaking.
Who? Me? Don't kid yourself. Though, that gear you're wearing.
You're a troublemaker who's done something bad, aren't you?
And you're a merc out on the hunt for infected people. Yeah?
An explosion from inside the bus?
Screw TH. I told you to bugger off. I don't have time for you.
Good. What's going on with that truck? Its body is damaged in several areas, and the front's rather deformed. The smoke should be coming from the condensate pipe not properly dispersing the heat. And there's that driver. She seems to be worse for wear than the bus itself.
Cordiera years.
The engine has long since stalled, but the sound of water flowing to the condensate pipe can still be heard from the power cabins. The temperature inside the cabins is unusually high, but the drenched pot lid continues to shiver.
Alana says sad. This was supposed to help.
As her words trail off, pot lid's lips quiver slightly as if thick talking. Ray thinks for a moment, then holds the girl's scorching hot hand. Though the hand subconsciously tries to shrink away, it has no strength to do so.
Burning hot. It's all right. Now, I'll be able to see how badly your arts are going out of control. This isn't any miraculous technique or anything, but I can at least reduce the danger a bit. Some people are fine sticking their head in the sand. Some coop themselves up in abandoned mine shafts and wait for the whole thing to get blown up and sealed off. And others try to run far, far away into the barrens. Sure, people gets us sick, just like old parts gets us rusty. Bound to happen, as long as you handles it properly. It won't affect anyone else, and it won't turn into a big deal.
I don't want this, Asuna. Why?
Easy there. GRA years. Your body temperature's still high.
Everyone in my family, the whole family, they were all infected.
Right?
All of them knew how to put their noses to the grindstone. They built their own homes. Lived simple but fulfilling lives. I was happy too. I could make a big pot of soup and share it with everyone. And that may get us better. After they got better, they wouldn't need to come back anymore.
Easy now. GRA years. If your temperatures gets any higher,
A few sparks crackle through the air.
I can't hold you anymore. I know what I'm doing. GRA years. Some people don't know how to control their own strength, and end up hurting people or even killing them by accident. But that's not me. I'm going to knock you out. You'll just be sore for a few days. I'm letting go now.
Does that and grow up more? My sickness gets better. We'll also come back, Hojima. What? Were those people on the road looking for infected? Why do I have to hurt Lan ass just because I'm an infected?
The rawness of the blisters on her hand forced Ray to pause.
Is it bad? To be an infected?
Well. GRA years. You must be hurting. I can feel it. There are times when the Orpithwy flares up and I can't sleep. I know. But when I remember that ray of light shining through, I can relax and finally close my eyes in peace. For an MUT, come. GRA years. Calm down. IWILL find it.
Pot lid, how's she doing? You, this blood.
Alana I am. GRA years is fine. But stay back. Her heat's gone down a little. She's already caused a small explosion. These damaged internal components and broken pipes. Are they a big deal?
The pipe is whatever, but the medicine doesn't seem to be working.
See, I said you needed help when I shit. Huh? This girl? I've seen her before. Why'd you tie this little girl up? What are you doing to her?
What am I doing? What am I even capable of doing?
I'm
not an idiot. You think I don't know these tricks don't work? You think I haven't seen an old friend getting heat stroke in the workshop, then being tortured with these crude methods to the point that he never came to work again? Rusty Wrench managed to survive. Couldn't talk anymore, but he could still work. Old Bobby said it saved his life. But you think I don't know they're the exception that proves the rule? You really think I don't know Oripithwy is an intractable disease? But this dumb kid doesn't know that. She thinks she can be cured. What else can I do but play along? I believe in the little medicine I can get my hands on, and whatever folk remedies reach my ears. I can't just watch another one die in front of me while I watch helplessly.
Sleep peacefully now. You don't have to burn yourself anymore. I'm sorry for using my arts on you. May you be free from the pain and suffering of Oripethwa in your dreams. I could feel it. She is a deeply wounded girl. Is there anything else I can help with? I'm done with my arts too. Go ahead and let the others in.
Is she really going to be okay?
Her subconscious casting has stopped. The activation process of the origin IUM crystals inside her body has also been halted. But the fever symptoms haven't been completely relieved yet, and we'll have to continue monitoring her for a while.
I've been driving this truck around for who knows how long. Never thought I'd run into a doctor in a place like this. All I can say is, thank you.
You're welcome. Treating the infected has always been Rhodes Island's duty. I'm not a doctor. And the doctor is, well, not that kind of doctor. Just to be sure, we should get this to the Rhodes Island branch office ASAP, or we'd have real diagnostic and treatment equipment to properly examine the patient.
Rhodes Island. That reminds me. The girl gave me a card, saying that some lady told her to give it to her family.
Oh, and the lady. A girlie was clearly infected. I figured her family ought to understand.
Found it. This is the one. The symbol of the excavator drill pointed straight at the sky.
The what?
Ain't easy doing business around Rimbillitonses these days. Competition's too fierce. So figured it wouldn't be a bad idea to go tucking instead. But your company offers some serious benefits. It's absolutely wild that you'd have such an advanced medical department in a construction firm. If only the Billy companies could learn from you guys.
Alana, I think there's been a little misunderstanding. But I do agree with you. If all of Rimbilliton's companies committed to raising awareness about the Oripethwa prevention, our young patient here might not be in such serious condition right now. And we should really put what we do at Rhodes Island front and center on our business cards. After all, they have proper access to medical services, in any case. We'll have a proper medical team dedicated to war mice treatment at the branch office. If it's not too much trouble for you, I'd like you to drive for the nearest nomadic city.
Sure. Wait. Hold on. There's a bit of a special situation with the truck. Once we go back, we might not be able to leave again. Plus, I have an agreement with someone else.
Special situation? Oh, that reminds me. You're supposed to be a transport, right? If you keep going in that direction. The only thing waiting for you is an uninhabited wasteland that's prone to catastrophes. But don't tell me you were planning to go plant bottle trees there.
No, we're going to search for the fur and MUT.
For MUT?
We're... Don't leave Worma behind.
You're awake? How's your head? Are you dizzy? Are you still running hot?
When in love, you look so upset. Oh, did something happen? I think I just had a long and tiring dream. At the very end of the dream, I think I even saw the fur in MUT. Ray asked me to take a good long look at the giant shadow. I looked and looked as hard as I could, but I couldn't quite make it out. Lin and S, what called me in the light吗? Can I name you T?
Here, try this. This is all we have now. It's hardly enough to express our thanks. Not only did you save Pot Lid, but you're even willing to travel with us to make sure she's okay.
No worries. We had no particular destination in mind to begin with. Also, the doctor's intrigued by the fur and MUT you mentioned.
It's done. Alana I've pulled into the transport bay. The rest of the journey is up to you.
No problem there.
There is one thing I still don't understand. What exactly is this? Fur and MUT. You're searching for...
It's a type of... This massive. All you need to know is, it's some sort of mythical creature. I've heard there are incredible explorers out there planning to turn these legends into documented columns. As for this beast, it flies for months at a time over the windswept dunes of Rimbillitonses, flying over the highest peaks to spew flames at the sun. It appears in the mist of nightfall with a luster more brilliant than the moon's. We set out this time to look for some more useful clues. Isn't that right? Right?
You talking about the lady with the crossbow over there who's hardly said a word this entire time?
Forget it. She can enjoy the cold wind by her lonesome. In any case, that's how mighty a fur an MUT is.
That legend sounds all over the place. Don't think I've heard anything of the sort before.
Oh, I've heard of it. A massive foul beast devours the clouds in the sky before it can finish eating the last cloud. Right before the day the sky falls. The people on its back all jump into the boundless sea of stars. A long time ago, a doctor used to tell me bedtime stories like that. Well, oh, you put it in different words. But I have a vague memory. Your tone at the time, it really made me want to believe the stories were real.
Never would have guessed it. But looks like our friend here has quite a vivid imagination underneath that hood. But we're not after fairy stories here. We're looking for the real deal.
That makes the freshly stewed. Oh, piping hot sweet potato soup is ready.
Phew. This is the good stuff. Hurry up and dig in. Everyone.
Appreciate it. Or my.
Don't mention it. There's also veggies cooking in the pot.
Wait a minute. This flavor? Why does it have a hint of origin IUM slug?
Well, I did add a little bit of slug slime. I've tried it before, and the flavor's not too bad. It's soft and chewy, doesn't stick to your teeth, and it shouldn't be poisonous at all.
Wow, I think you're onto something. By the way, the food you served up before was pretty good. I didn't expect you to be such a cook.
Is it really so surprising? Do I look to you like a woman who doesn't know her way around the kitchen? The factory workers were always tripping over each other to get us at my food. Though, my real specialties are way more flavorful. Don't care at all for this light, time-consuming stuff. Everything you ate just now, from the beet soup to the origin IUM slug slime sweet potatoes too, was all prepared by Potlid here. I just served it.
It's Orma's work? I know she's getting better and all. Are you sure it's wise to let her do all that by herself? Let her rest up? Don't handle this as the rest.
Calm down, don't go bugging her over it. She can handle this as it. If anything, I think she'd be sad if she felt like there was nothing she could do. She's always been like that, wanting to prove that she's all grown up and capable, which is how she ended up in this condition.
Oh, right.
Yes?
Has Worma been through something? Even though she's always smiling and full of energy, I feel a deep sorrow coming from her. Her inner feelings seem at complete odds with her smile.
Kids like to act strong and tough. That's all there is to it.
But normal kids don't cling to it in that way.
It's because of what her father said to her before he left home. I want you to grow up happily, just as you are now. The day before he left, it was her birthday. Nasty business, right? Children tend to take things like birthdays and birthday wishes awfully seriously.
Then, where is her dad now?
Who knows? All I know is, the girl relies on me. Because every time her father left home for work, it was in this vehicle. Minors are the most common types you'll see aboard, with Katyus as a close second, and her father happened to be both. Like hell I'd be able to pick him out of the crowd. Though, did I ever mention to you that this OL girl's about to go out of commission? Because several of the mines I used to stop at got shut down. The last one was due to deep depletion. All the rocks that got dug up were totally worthless. And then 2 years ago, a mining accident claimed another. And so it was over the last 2 years, when this kid hopped on board, saying that if she didn't keep the brightest smile on her face, her father wouldn't recognize her. Alright, I'm gonna go give her some motivation. And a helping hand. She's probably a bit too fired up right now and wants to make a miner's family dinner on that little origin IUM stove you guys brought over. You're pretty nice people too. It's been a long time since she's cooked for anyone else. Though, I hope what you said when you sat down at this table is true. That you won't end up getting sick breaking bread with infected. Or at least, you're like me. You know, good things happen to good people and all. So that makes it perfectly fine to live with the infected.
She didn't know the danger she was putting herself in when she decided to keep Worma around.
I'm here. Doctor. Oh, is it written all over my face or something? I was just thinking. I keep thinking, what would have happened had you never pulled me from the wreckage of that vehicle? Walking along the streets of Rimbilitansis, I always feel like those running and shouting Kata's children are no different from me. Disasters aren't uncommon in Rimbilitansis. The dangerous old ways of mining. Unusually frequent catastrophes.
There were some Victorian businessmen who said this is no way for people to live.
Oh, of course I'm not trying to say that life in Rimbilitansis is terrible or anything. Well, the natural environment here may be harsh. Our homes are always full of warmth. Rimbilitenses' large households often come together to jointly adopt children. But I'm just happier that I get to do something like this. Also, like being able to rescue you. And before that...
The young goddess doesn't finish her words. You know there's something she's hiding from you. Amaya's expression is somewhat wistful, but there's no sign of regret or remorse.
Now that I'm looking back, every year since I left home has been so terribly long. Everything seems to be speeding by around me. Before I can grow taller or change out of my childhood clothes. So, I find myself wondering, when I think of my mom and dad, what should I say to them to give them an idea of what I've been through? So that they still recognize me. But, coming back to Rimbilitenses, it finally dawned on me. The only thing I want to tell my parents is I survived. Because the doctor took my hand.
You suddenly remember something. You remember the huge Rimbilitenses logo emblazoned on the laser mining module mounted atop the Rhodes Island land ship. You remember seeing it before. You remember some of the materials that Rhodes Island has gradually been making available to you lately. Rhodes Island's predecessor, Babel, customized this Rimbilitenses mining module that was attacked during the initial shipment. The mercenary team dispatched by Babel failed to stave off the attack, resulting in the deaths of many people on the transport team. You remember the thick, black smoke, slowly burning in the empty wilderness. Distant emotions flowed into your mind along with the hazy memories. Though it still doesn't feel like your own past, you cannot help but to feel an infinite.
What I wanted to search for was the vestiges of the journey that began here, as well as the traces of Rhodes Island being dug out from here and towed across the entirety of Rimbilitenses before setting sail for the far reaches of the continent. I was just thinking, if I had never met Rhodes Island, if I had never met Drive, Paul, Sid, or Teresa, if I had never met the doctor, what a shame it all would have been.
Finally helped tidy up around here. But seriously, never would have expected all on us and Warmite to be living together inside a truck like this. Good thing I didn't charge in, waving my hammer around. To try to rescue Warmite, or else this thing would have been a goner. Speaking of which, when was the last time I had a campfire dinner with this many people? Has there ever been another time where I got to enjoy such a merry one with Mia and the doctor? A grunt? That's it? Does it not make your blood boil? Those bastards in suits want to plunder our mines. And since when did my friends become as snobbish as the Victorians?
So, I was just thinking about the stories in some old books.
Don't look at us like that. The way you look at the stars in the sky. Even back then, I wasn't always happy every time. Mia and the doctor. They're fast asleep. Must have had too much fun and gotten tired. Seriously? It's not safe here. You'll catch a cold at this rate. Oh, you're awake. It's pretty dark tonight, and I couldn't see your face clearly. Did I wake you? So you're looking out for Mia here? Fair enough. The Billy Barons have always been dangerous, and the people you meet aren't always friendly. Which is why you have no idea how anxious I was when I first met you. You, sickly foreigner, trekking through the wilderness with a little girl in tow. You were a goner? You weren't afraid because you didn't know a thing about Rimbilitenses. I could write it off as a Mia trusting you regardless. But it wasn't until a lot later when I understood why she always slept so soundly next to you. Well, yeah, you have a good grasp of everything, and a lot of tools at your disposal. But, there are other areas where you don't seem that smart, which became evident the more we traveled together. Like that one time you said, I know these berries are incredibly bitter. But then took a big bite of them anyway before urging me not to do the same. Well, yeah, you rarely gets us any time to rest. Be it the barren wilderness, a glimmering of the starry sky, or the steel frames and cranes rising over a city. You can stare blankly at these things for a long time? Maybe you didn't consciously decide to stay up to stay on guard for Mia. But you nevertheless managed to help her avoid some ferocious stall beasts in Hiwa Mine. Mind if I take a seat? I wanted to tell you something along the way, but we ended up getting tangled up in another weird mess again. At least there wasn't any real danger. Well, for me. The biggest difference was my attitude, I suppose. To be honest, I was a bit disappointed back then, and wanted to go for a walk. Well, yeah. It was because of that cage incident. But after everything was said and done, I followed you and Mia on that trip. And to everyone else, it seemed like I ghosted them. By the time I returned, they'd mostly forgotten about the whole deal, which is exactly what I wanted. At the time, I saw businessmen signing contracts to develop the mines for the people of Rimbillitonses. But they turned around and threw us into cages. Same way predators in the wild snatch their meal. I'm even sadder about the ones who promised to protect our land together, swearing not to let the old Duke strip us of our dignity. Some people, as soon as they tasted wealth and status, turned out no different from the businessmen and robber barons. Just thinking about it makes me want to swing my hammer around and smash their glass houses to bits. Oh, I'm so sorry. That I didn't mean to scare you and to scare you. It feels crazy to be telling this story again. I was absolutely furious at the time. I couldn't stand that feeling. Like people were suddenly plucked out of their own skin, made to become completely different people. That look in their distant eye. Didn't seem like any way you'd ever look at a friend. To sum it all up, I can't trust them anymore. And so I have trouble understanding certain others. Yeah? Don't worry about it. My hammer's just for protecting you. You and Mia both gave me your answers. Mia already told me she's willing to go down that path. And doesn't regret it at all. I can see how heavily that burden sits on her shoulders. But now, all I can do is try to help her carry some of that burden. As for you, this isn't right. Katsu, what are you playing at here? What happened to Amaya's body? How could you leave a child as young as her to suffer this? Was this the doctor's decision? Is she nothing but a pawn to the doctor? I wanted you to swear to it. I couldn't shake the doubts that I had. But I also wanted to have faith in you. So I asked for a vow. You promised that after you took Mia from Rimbillitonses, that you'd do your best to treat her with kindness and let her grow up healthy. Andre, yeah, I know. There's no use asking for answers from an amnesiac doctor. The hell, that's it? Are you waiting too? All right. Two can play at that game. Time will tell all. The same goes for you. If there's anything you need from me, please let me know. That's right. She's been sitting there all night. Doctor, are you trying to say that she's a threat? Or is your assessment something altogether different? It's gotten late. Why don't you warm yourself by the fire? If anything, you should go rest and replenish your stamina, since you were the one who got hurt today. Worm, I made a ton of food. And Alana's already put it away in the trap. I can go grab it and heat some up for you if you'd like. She's quite the chef. You know, I'd feel bad for you if you missed out.
How's she doing?
She's fine now. Actually, you should go see her yourself.
Thank you. All of you. But I felt her pain. I always thought I didn't fear pain. But now, I can't stop trembling.
The woman holding the weapon is not shaking at all. She simply stares into the night sky, as if she dares not avert her eyes or look anywhere else.
I've seen infected burn themselves to ash. Sometimes, the only choice for those infected who can no longer be saved is to send them away. Something like that should never happen to Worm. I am unmo. Feels so terrible. From the very beginning. I was the reason why the truck went off route.
Yeah, Alana told me everything. Do you want to turn around and leave?
But at least, I should issue.
Good enough for me. I mean, even the doctor is interested in that for an MUT you mentioned now. The stars sure are beautiful, aren't they? You've been staring at them for a while now.
I can't say. All I know is, they're far, far away, unshimmering in the darkness. It's slightly better than staring just at the darkness.
Are you afraid of the dark?
And it's always so dark in the mines that I've long since gotten used to it.
The mines. Huh? Well, I guess you probably don't care too much then. Huh? I totally gets as you. Used to work underground as a security officer. It was always stuffy as hell. I also know that sometimes people are too afraid to look at the things around them because they don't want to be sad. And so they look up into the sky. What is it? What are you looking for? Why'd you decide to go truck jacking in the first place?
Stage Street 5 as a pit sinker. Ray works year-round in extremely oppressive environments. When her working sin beast passes away, she sets off in a daze, seeking out the fur and MUT. Once she breaks free of herd arc memory, she spots a habitat with a population of lively wild sand beasts, who bring her to a deep, secluded cave.
The curtains in the shack are slightly shorter than the windows. Before the furnaces heat up, the machines start to turn, and the city itself awakens. The first pinpricks of dawn light prod at anyone still asleep. And yet, I've never fixed those curtains. In a daze, still foggy from sleep. Those rays show me a momentary trick of the light, an immense shadow, head still whirling. But right at that point where my sleep-addled brain doesn't know who I even am. The light gets me up. I ought to tidy up my things and head out already. Laborers scurry all about, rushing to the mines before they even open, all so that they can get us the good jobs before they're gone.
Let's go. Sand beast. Hey. Not there. You forget already. That miner already hired some safety specialists. We'll go try our Luxuses at the northwest side today.
True, TH. One that big. Must be full grown. Yeah. Don't often see a pit sinkers and beasts grow that big. Your Luxuses is not half bad.
Could be.
You'll need a little Luxuses this time. If you can get us down this shaft today. Rules say I pay you double. You'll have to take the extra goodies out yourself, of course.
All right. Lead the way.
Hold it. That's it. No questions asked. You don't look like a hothed new hand. You hear double pay and sign on the dotted line. A catastrophe's torn up the land for a few hundred clicks out west the past few days. Big earthquakes. That's got the origin IUM crystals in our mineshaft multiplying like mad. An absolute mess down there. You got all that?
Yeah. Got it.
You're not taking me seriously here. Awful foolish. Or are you trying to say that you're really some kind of specialist? Seeing this sort of thing every day.
Specialists. Wouldn't go that far. I've just spent a few years pit sinking. I'll play it safe. If I died, there'd be no one to take care of my sand beast.
Should have figured. A safety specialist wouldn't go about looking for work in the first place. Alright. I've said everything I need to say. Fingerless solid. Quit drinking and gets us prepping. Safety rope's gotta be on her nice and tight before we drop her down. I don't know what other people think when they say mine shaft. The pounding echo. The moist stench. The boiling hot air. The bitterness of sweat on your tongue. Maybe that sort of thing. I'm a pit sinker. Every day. Before the miners gets us to work. I go down the shaft to scout the conditions. Alone. This early. The shaft's nothing but darkness. The mine cage descends. The voices up top slowly fade away. And the everything around me gets eaten up by the dark. And that's when my senses gets as keen. I'm no fan of the pitch black. But the feeling of darkness is the one thing that's most familiar. Pit sinker. What's it like down there?
Sand beast's sac fin is raised. But its veins haven't changed color. Standard response. Should be safe for the time being. Is the map current?
We haven't had time to mark out the new shafts yet. But the major chambers haven't changed.
All right.
What was that?
Infused origin IUM slug. Handled it. But it's not a good sign.
We almost never see the explode white critters down in the mine. Things might be even worse than we expected. I gotta remind you, when you're at that depth, you move forward a little bit further and there's no signal.
If something happens down here, I'll come back to report. It's getting darker. The seal on the sluice gate holding back the water is still in decent condition. And the channel's not blocked. Still operating normally. What else do I need to check? Origin IUM crystal growth range and activity. The condition of the support struts. Whether or not they're at risk of collapse. The condition of the drains. Whether or not they might leak. Also the air quality. Whether or not there's a chance of toxic gas leakage. Watch your step. Sand beasts. The lights down this way are broken too. I can't really see anything with only my headlamp. Sand beast. Help me take a peek. The ventilation shafts has been pierced by an Origin IUM crystal. Floors covered in fragments. And the crystal surface is still thin. This one's only just emerged.
But there is but total darkness.
It looks like there's huge cavities on the back of the support struts. Were they burnt away? Or perhaps bored clean? It's crawling with Origin IUM slugs.
But there is but total darkness.
There's water pooling above. Not yet showing signs of seepage. But there's abnormal airflow in the water. Bubbles are coming up mighty strong.
But there is but total darkness.
Your back fin. It's covered in Origin IUM dust. The color of the blood vessels. Toxic gas leak. We've got to go.
Getting hauled back up to the surface from the bottom of the mine takes yonks. I never did figure out exactly how long. Just chinning up and looking out into the distance was enough for me. I think this when other pit sinkers would count the rocks they managed to haul up. Didn't matter how much you took out. Mine owners didn't really care. Only those very small, privately run mines would seek out temporary pit sinkers, drilling ever deeper shafts, extracting ever more valuable Origin IUM ore. The bottoms of the mines ever more dangerous.
You're still with me, right? Sand Beast.
No haul for me today. Although there might still be infected critters about, I put away my weapon to have a hand free. Despite operating the sluice gate one-handed is really tough. Eats up a lot of time. I do my best to run out. Feeling Sand Beast's lower back fin pricking my arm. This was the first Sand Beast I bought. I remember 2 years back when I bought it. The shopkeep gave me a piece of colored paper and a folded photo. He told me that the way the lantern light looks passing through the capillaries in the Sand Beast's back fin tells you the mine's air quality. It's been a pretty handy detection method. This time, before I felt out of breath, I recognized that dazzling dark violet on Sand Beast's boy. He told me that with a fella this sensitive, the life loss wouldn't have to be mine.
Captain, raise the cage. If you would. We're heading back up now. Sand Beast. I got a pretty decent pay packet. Could use it to buy that new feed they put out. We could also go see a doctor. Gotta keep you healthy.
Time was. The folks in the mine wouldn't tell me if things were dangerous, or ask me if I really wanted to go into the pit. They could wait until I was lifted back up to the surface. Watch how I breathe. Look at the color of the blood in my nicks and scratches. As the cage rises, I can't hear Sand Beasts breathing over the blowing of the wind and the rumbling of the machines. It isn't moving. All I can do is chin up and look out into the distance. After a while, the darkness begins to crack open, just a tad. I can tell it isn't just some trick of the eye from spending too long in the dark. And it definitely isn't me hallucinating. It's daylight.
You'll be all right.
It feels like I've always been waiting for this moment.
When we're up top, breathing in that fresh air, getting some sun, we'll be all right.
Like that fantasy I've been holding on tight for.
Look, it's the entrance.
It comes to me that the aftereffects of the earthquake catastrophes are still ongoing. What with all the dust and sand in the air, there's no daylight at the entrance.
Checking on us and Beast is real simple. If the membranes of the back fin have increased blood flow, it shows that the poison's already had time to accumulate in the body. If Sand Beast keels over, then I'll just have to buy a new one. I've still got 2 sacks of feed in the house. People can't eat it. Tomorrow morning, I'm thinking of checking out a mine in another direction. Tomorrow morning. It'll be alright once daybreak comes.
Where's your sand beast? Hopped it sucks. Well, that's not good. We don't want any pit sinker who doesn't come with her own sand beast. Those things were basically born to die. If you're not willing to part with the money to buy a new one, you'll quickly meet your end down in the pit. And you're infected too. Look, we can't afford that sort of hassle here. No answer? You deaf or something? Or you just some fool bugger who got her sand beast killed? Alright, gets us going. Better not see you again. Medicine for sand beast? I don't have any. And to be honest, I've never even heard of such a thing. Well, you don't always take meds for your average cold, right? There's even fewer people who would want to give them to a sand beast. Best to just buy a new one. These little fellas don't live long anyway. But I can guarantee that this lot were real healthy. Won't die of the sickness before you gets us to the pit. If you're not going to buy, best gets us out of my store then. I'll say it once more. There's no medicine for sand beasts. That's just common sense. You were going to buy a sand beast to be a pit stinker without even knowing the basics. If the sand beast dies and you don't, that's called a good day.
Sand beast. I didn't.
Dibber. The dawn light weaves between the bars of the empty beast cage before it stabs her, ending a long nightmare. And yet it's hardly an improvement.
Never mind. Hear me out. Empty cage. I didn't get Zizit killed. I tried my best. But when you're down in the pit, you'd run into toxic gas. The whole point of the sand beast is just to see how the air's doing. Deep in the pit, where it's always darkest. Why am I shaking? May, do you know which one of these transport trucks is heading out first?
You want to go see?
Yeah. I still remember where I first saw it. Just need to head back thereabouts to find it again. I still remember. The ray of light. Other than the dark. What should I be feeling for?
You will remember.
已经不再只有日了吗? Actually rescued me. Let me keep living on. It exists, right?
Yeah, it exists. The sand beast opens its eyes.
Wait. Sand beast? Where are we going?
To find the thing you want to find.
You can bring me there.
No, it's no good if it's just me.
But I've only got Hatsushitetu.
Well, like a hood.
Hood?
Why is it holding on to the doctor's hood so tightly?
Atop the rock wall, among the sand dunes, streams of water flow out from holes all about, converging into a pool in the center.
Please let go. If you don't, it's going to tear.
The rock walls and stone columns come together to form a rocky barrier, blocking the oncoming sandstorm and protecting those on its leeward side.
Hey, sand beast. Bet you haven't eaten one of these before. What's a radish biscuit?
The general goods storekeeper mentioned it before, and the animal almanac wrote about it too. So it's this kind of place. Ace and beast digging itself out of a small hole. 2 sand beasts leaning against a branch. 3 sand beasts soaking in the pool. No, 4, 5, even more than that. Their back fins are all arsed. Their blood vessels showing a healthy glow.
Let's hear a strawberry pie. We've got some grass spot crispy crust too. Looks like the sand beast gets us along with me a lot better than the doctor.
Ch. I keep patting its head, but it still won't let go. Don't worry, doctor. I won't let it rip your hood.
Well, wait a second. You're calling me Potlet because you're trying to get us back at me. You can't call me that. What? Why are there so many sand beasts living here? There's even more sand beasts jumping up here.
Try not to get us overwhelmed.
Here. Let me have a try. I knew Ray would figure it out. 又有玩苦灭的为超卷了. I told everyone you're definitely a little critter lover.
Just now, it looks like Ray didn't realize we've been following her all this way. We really just got off the truck for a break.
waiting for the braking device to cool down. But then we saw you looking like you were in some kind of daze when you got off. We were worried.
Sorry. Keep calm. Doctor. Try not to move too much.
That was a huge sneeze. Gah!
That was using a pointy leaf to poke around in the holes on the sand beast's back, to tickle it. All right. Little fellas. You're all safe. Run along now. That sand beast's reaction is pretty simple to explain. They use their back fins to support their breathing, and are very sensitive to changes in airflow and temperatures. These sand beasts and the ones bred in captivity are just as small. Look like cubs around 3 to 4 months old. They should grow up to be pretty chunky and live for a decent amount of years.
What about the one with you, right?
Now that I can give you a proper look in the rays of light, your coat's a bit brighter than I thought. My mistake. Though I have to ask, why are you following me?
I've been looking for you lot for half the day. Why'd you all run this way anyway? What are all these critters doing here? What are they?
Sand beasts.
I know they're sand beasts. These things. No, that's not it right now. Doctor, didn't you say you could actually read the data from the survey equipment atop the truck? That doohickeys pumping out fluctuating data. 99 times out of 100 whatever it says doesn't happen. And I don't understand a thing about the pattern it spit out. You saying it could be a catastrophes?
The doctor looked into it. A catastrophes messenger who was on the truck with us for a little while had a very limited survey range. We can't rely on that data to provide us an accurate picture of the situation. And since the doctor's judgment says to leave as soon as possible, and not to try and take cover here and take cover he, that means that we still have time.
Alright, got it. Let's get to the move on. Before the catastrophes wrecks everything here. The farther, the better.
Everything, hero.
WH Woo. From running over to tell you lot the news. Then running back. I gotta say, Woo. I gotta say that I definitely broke the factory district record. Plot lid. Did you manage to get this my time?
You need to time your own runs. When if... Wait for the others next time.
You guys were playing with the sand beasts too long. Turned you into slowpoke. I can wait. Sure. But the catastrophes won't. Come on. Be a good girl. Start up already. Doctor. Amia. You two ready?
I'm all set. Huh? The doctor ran too hard. Still isn't up for talking. Right. Yes, I understand. The doctor says I'm all set too.
Alrighty. If everyone's buckled up, off we go. Toodaloo. Catastrophes.
Will we be alright? Going at this speed?
Definitely not a problem. The only thing overtaking me now is myself at top speed. A little catastrophes cloud like that. In your dreams, mate.
That's good to hear.
Huh? Doctor, what are you trying to say? Hey. Wait. Oh, that's right. Where's Ray? I don't think she made it on.
Huh?
It's okay. Sand beasts, we can still make it. The catastrophes isn't here yet. It's just that the sandstorm's picking up now. But I can still make it through the wind. I can find somewhere safe for you fellas, so... Right? I know sand beasts can't talk. It was just a hallucination or something there. See near. Black clouds about to hit. Won't be able to see much soon. Or I could become that somewhere safe for you lot.
There's nothing else we can do. Even if the sandstorms is huge, all we can do is rush right through it. It's got to be hard on that kid Rayella. Her first time coming along done, we're on into this shitstorm. You lot, come lend a hand. Lift up her legs. This little lady's whole body is burning hot, and her feet are covered in blisters too. She's far too young for this. Don't think she can walk the rest of the way. Let's go. We better decide which way to get us out of here already. I'm familiar with this sense of weariness and despair. The wind and sand press down upon me. All I see is darkness. My feet feel full of lead. The adults carried me on their backs. I could feel their flagging stride as it fought against the raging wind. No, this is a catastrophe. I remember. said a catastrophe was coming. So this is origin IUM dust then. Not just regular dust. It smells like the pit. The catastrophes will destroy the rock wall. Pollute the pool. Those sand beasts will have nowhere to go. I won't let them suffer that. Pulling them, carrying them, holding on to them. Whistling again and again to call any other sand beasts. Following along behind them all. And then, all I remember is being shaken about like a ragdoll. How many sand beasts did I manage to protect with my body? I heard a bizarre whistling sound go past my ear. It seemed like there was someone whistling for me, guiding the little critters.
WRWW.
W, 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 R, W.
Wait. Wait a sec. I'm on your backs. Where are you all carrying me?
I'm familiar with this sense of weariness and despair. Whenever the shadow of the fur and MUT appeared in my memories, it was always accompanied by a vast, empty wasteland. I was with the team, fighting against the sandy squall, walking towards where the sun rose. Yellows and filled the sky, smothering out all the color of the newborn sun. Yellow-white, mottled yellow, gray-yellow, until it all became deep and dark as black. In the end, we managed to make it to nightfall. Covered in darkness for the second time that day, a thick mist creeped in, and those poor sods who were injured cried out in pain. We were blood and sweat soaked into my boots, and the blisters on my feet went numb. The adults carried me and kept going forward.
The smell of dust in the air. And a mist so thick that you can't see your hand in front of your face. Fake shadows. And in the darkness. Light. Where am I?
Acre, taping cover, with bioluminescent organisms emitting light as dim as an old miner's helmet. Myriad creatures rustle about in the shadows behind Ray, making her reflexively raise her crossbow. Several small mounds on the ground scatter and bump into each other, revealing themselves to be sand beasts.
Sand beasts. You fellas brought me over here. This isn't just your den. Is it?
Groups of sand beasts on the ground and atop the walls jump about, guiding her towards a path that leads deeper into the cavern. The stone pillars of the cave slant and cross over each other, protecting the glowing area in the center, like a stone nest built by a giant foul beast. The ground itself is folded and creased, the vestiges of the passing of some unknown creature, cutting off at the entrance of a root scissors leading even further down. The stone being strewn about are its shed scales, those great piles of soil its rotting dander. The sound of the howling gales outside is already cut off, leaving only a drawn-out whistling to echo throughout this natural sanctuary, establishing an order for the creatures who live in the dark.
I remember. That time. When I saw that shadow in the mist. The wind brought along a murmur. That sound soothed me. And let me forget the pain for a while. Move forwards. Ella. Leave this darkness. You must. Why aren't you going ahead? Little fellas. What's up ahead?
Not wanting to deal with the darkness any more than she has to, she turns on her miner's lamp.
It's a closed-off cavern. Can't get us in here. I could chisel it open. I need to chisel it open. Ouch. WHA.
The whistling stops, replaced by a different sound. One whose pitch stretches from the highest highs to the lowest lows. Countless syllables intertwine with the bellows of the beast. Ray presses down hard upon her ears, but the echoes still reverberate within her mind.
I thought I was just dreaming that there was something poking away at my eyeball. Good grief. This place is twice as lively as it should be. Strange. The sand beast is speaking again. Hundreds of sand beasts speaking at the same time. Sand beast. How could I possibly be a sand beast? I swear. First it's a group of little long ears clanging about with their little sticks chiseling away at my brain cheeks. Then they tried to dig into my ears with little exploding iron pellet slots. And when they finally got tired and headed off, I managed to actually get to some sleep. But I barely even closed my eyes before you came along and woke me up again. Apologies, little one. I got a bit too stirred up just now and shouted at you. I must have startled you into falling over onto your backside. But given that you were the one who woke me up with your racket and trod on top of my tongue,
making me bellow about and make a fool of myself. I'd say we were even. What's that smell? Why does it stink so much? What is this? Get just these things away from my nose. Right now?
A hallucination.
Hallucination. I assure you. I am no hallucination. If I were, I wouldn't be feeling a little bit itchy right now.
Fellas, why are you yanking those plants?
Those are my nose hairs. Smelly little things. Don't pull the way at you.
The rock wall splits open, the darkness once more beginning to crack open.
For an MUT. Are you the one I've been looking for?
The giant eye shines like a great gemstone. Ray has never felt her heart beat this strongly before, thumping about inside her chest. A hunter's daughter, a pit sinker who broke free of the dark, a traveler who chased the light. From then until now, every instance of her reaches out a hand towards the giant eye. What? For an MUT? You mean me? Well, I quite like the sound of that name. A much mightier name than Sand Beast. I'll have to remember that one. I don't remember who decided to give me a name last time. But after waking from my nap, I find that I've completely forgotten it all. I swear it was just a moment or two ago. Well, forget it. Sleep's more important. Dr. Fern, say, little one, why did you come looking for me?
You saved me.
Did I?
A sound that's been echoing from deep in my mind. An immense shadow. A light. It was a miracle. You saved my life. Along with many others. I remember your light. I've always thought it was something right out of a legend. That the thing that saved us was some giant. Friendly beast who lived out in the wilderness. But I checked so many animal almanacs. And none of them ever mentioned a creature large enough to cast the shadow in my memory. Or one that could talk to people. All I know is, you are definitely not a hallucination. I just felt that I had to come and find you.
I'm sorry, little one, but I'll have to stop you there. As you can see, I have no way of moving my body. Even when those little sand beasts were jumping about in my nostrils, with their horrendously noxious stench, I had no means of removing them. I am trapped in darkness, bound for decades, perhaps centuries. So how, I ask, could I have saved you and the other little ones, as according to you?
But a Sambiyasasamu. If not you, then who? Maybe there's another Fern MUT out here in the wilderness.
I regret to tell you, little one, that there are no more of my kin about here. What little I know of these wildlands, that much I am sure. Take heart, little one, do not be so down. If it truly vexes you, perhaps you will feel better if you closed your eyes and took a little nap. Well, perhaps not, for closing your eyes means being in the dark. And you have a look about you that says that you fear it. Alright, I admit I'm not used to consoling people. Well, that's enough out of you. I'm feeling sleepy again. You'd best be on your way now. And make sure to take those smelly little things with you. In the blink of an eye. The sand beasts, beside her, are in uproar, coming together to create their buzzer sound once more. I had raced into muddled darkness, so dark that she is unable to tell which way the sand beasts are carrying her. All she feels is that she's getting further and further from the light. Suddenly, from the cavern that quickly fades into the distance, the Fern MUT's voice rings out once more. Don't mind me, little one. I might not be able to move my body. But that doesn't mean I can't budge a bit. Since you took so much effort to come all this way, I have one more question for you. If I am the Fern MUT, if I am the light you were seeking, the roiling sound of landslides washes over her and the earth trembles, as if shaken awake by the jab of a pit sinker's crossbow bolt. Considering how far you've had to come to get us here, what exactly were you hoping I would help you with?
Stage Street 6. The road to the Grinning Valley is blocked by Origin IU informations. And the gang has no choice but to return empty-handed. Brave voluntarily joins Rhodes Island and tells the story of her encounter with the Fern MUT when she was a child. However, Amiya glimpses the memory of somebody else from that story.
Doctor, I'm not afraid anymore. They asked me a lot of questions, and I told them everything. Our long journey, the places we've been, and whether we had fun or not. But there were a few questions that I found no answers to. Is the doctor looking for something? Why did they all say behind our backs that the things that the doctor wants to see can't ever be seen again? Why did the doctor save me and travel with me? All drivers. Ears both long and short up. This is guidance for our departure in 6 hours. Watch the catastrophes forecasts and Dr. Safe. Don't chase wildlife. Let's guess as the truck's in and gets us home early.
Well, you don't look so bad. Old bones, you should be thankful your last trip is with me. Others probably wouldn't have what it takes to get to Zoo fix. You'd have to sit out there in the boonies in tatters with that hole the anti-armor blew open, and wait for the engineering team to come to take you apart and haul any usable modules back to the factory for reassembly. And me? I wouldn't be able to hand in the truck. The whole thing would have been a bust. Everyone would be making fun of me for that the rest of my life. I should have been made fun of the rest of my life. If someone found I was hiding underneath the truck when she was killed. That kind of thing's not ever gonna happen again. Alright, just one more problem. Then, I don't have too many mates and iron carrots as a city. I need to find someone to teach me how to write the accident report. Hoy, stop ringing the bell. This truck's not going anywhere. You got the wrong, coward.
Looks like I got the right one. The gaudy decorations are all gone. And it doesn't look like a war broke out in here anymore. Feels a bit strange. Actually, it's good seeing this thing in one piece. This has to mean that Rai are both fine. Right?
Suppose so.
TH though. Let me ask one other thing. Did Ray find the thing she said she was looking for?
Of course not.
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to bring up painful memories like that.
Don't worry about it. It's not really painful for me at all. That said, the hijacker doesn't think it's all that painful for her, either. Come to think of it, this really doesn't make any bloody sense. She disappeared halfway through the trip for no reason. Then she showed up where we pulled over to wait for a small catastrophes to pass. She's just like a dumb foul beast who finds herself disoriented after getting carried 1,000 miles away by a catastrophe's wind.
She didn't possibly forget what she's looking for. Right? I know there are folks who would run in circles as a kind of contest. And there was this lad who got so dizzy that he fell and knocked his brains out.
We might have a worse case on our hands. She told me she met a fur in MUT. And she said it's not the one she's looking for.
Huh?
Finally. She even said the fur in MUT has already told her the thing she's looking for doesn't exist.
I feel kinda sorry for her.
Really now, I call that finally seeing things clearly. But after that, we did keep heading to the Grinning Valley. We went through all the trouble to make our way there. No way I was going to turn back on our hijacking.
How was it?
So cool. Too bad it's pretty dangerous there. A card like you won't be seeing it in your lifetime. Really. I don't suggest you go. If it wasn't for my technique and quick reflexes, the UTE would still be stuck in that valley. On our journey back, we had to stop every 2 hours for the old bones to cool down. The union says it's about time it gets standardized. And well, they have a point. It's been 20 years.
You've been driving for 20 years. I never would have guessed.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence in my skills. But I was going to say, I've known this old girl for 20 years. Right. Howard, where's my invitation to your wedding?
Huh? You might have missed the wedding. Actually, I'm on my honeymoon. Well, that's over now. As of 10 minutes ago. Iron Carrots' city was going to be our final stop. But I saw your transport when we got to the gates. And all of a sudden, I started to think. I wanted the trip to last a little longer.
Though, are you two driving that truck I parked not too far up ahead? Here I thought the driver got on the wrong level instead of the logistics channel for their delivery. Something's off. Though.
We're driving a delivery truck, all right. Actually, we found our truck when we left the gateway that day. We were thinking of turning back to our engagement ceremony. Then somehow, we drove to the registration center instead. Then, we drove to the open plaza, had our ceremony. Went on our honeymoon.
Bugger me dead. Now I remember.
WHWH, what is it?
The girl that followed you everywhere. Now I remember where I saw her face. It's the logo on this truck. This face.
I knew there was a hardware store that sold old safety valves.
Alright. She was trying to make herself disappear.
Do you even know why we had to stop every now and then?
I am really sorry. Let me apologize sincerely on her behalf.
I'm just kidding. I can't really blame you for this one. This truck should have been upgraded a long time ago. That being said, if we gets this last part installed right now, I can get us away with a dozen fewer sentences on the report. Quick, do you have any of the valves in stock on your transport?
Where am I? Is it ready yet?
It's still sparking. I'll learn how to use it in a bit. Give me a little more time. Once I learn how to use this stuff, I'll come out of the room.
If you really can't figure out how to use it, you're free to ask that old caster there again.
But I learned it so fast both when Lena and Ness taught me how to fix cars and when Daddy taught me how to cook.
Alright? I thought you'd follow all on the truck return.
I couldn't. Didn't you say you had to finish some other work by noon today to get us on that big mining ship of yours?
Hey, WWW. I could have taken my butt. And I could have given you to a ride to the next stop.
Savage. But I have to leave at some point. Why did you lean on the door?
Well, simply put, as a security officer, you sometimes gotta block the door and scare people. I got used to doing it. Why is the breeze so warm?
I'm starting to get the handles on how to use the staff.
You really figured it out? That's incredible. But let's put an end to your little show here. If you keep hitting the air, I'm going to catch fire. Let's sit here and wait for all honest. Once she's back, I'll take you two to the Rhodes Island land ship and see what they can do about your aura patois.
Alright, Hajima. It feels so familiar sitting on the seat, waiting for somebody. The benches in the waiting area are made of steel. They're so cold. And I couldn't get them warm, no matter what. If only I knew how to use arts before, I could have warmed the benches without anyone knowing. And Daddy's bones wouldn't have hurt so much.
You'll get this a chance. Or my... You still have lots of time to learn how to use your staff before you find your daddy. By then, you'll be able to control your power how you want it.
Really? But Ray didn't find the fur and ammuti in the end. And we didn't really make it to the Grinning Valley. But I've been waiting for Daddy for so long. After everything, I should do a nice trip with her.
Siu, finally made it. I really gotta hand it to that coward. He's really got knack for writing reports. My, that staff is so pretty. Really gotta hand it to me. How is it? Cutlet, you all ready?
Len S. Take a look at this.
Okay, this is way too hot. All of a sudden. Savage, is it really okay for her to use arts like that?
Huh?
Well, alright then. I've had my eyes on the staff for a long time. It just screams Billy Industrial aesthetic. I knew it'd be a great fit for our pot lid. How's that? Now bring on the praises.
You're so amazing. Len S. Amazing.
It's just, even if I got it for you a long time ago, we didn't have anyone around to teach you how to use it. Besides, I couldn't just put the transport truck down for a delivery address. But, now then, let's go get you treated. When you see your old man again, we'll let him see a real healthy pot lid with incredible arts.
Len S.
Huh? Why are you? Alright, let it out. Just grab my clothes and cry. I don't mind. At the very least, you didn't tend this journey empty-handed.
Verify the pre-departure supplies order. Gets us the origin IU fuel item deleted. We have more than enough fuel reserves. We have so much. They could come spilling out the tank. What about these orders from individual operators, who commissioned the messenger to send all these carrots? Again, I've had it with that sweet smell in the kitchen. I can't take it anymore. This crate's the refined solvent that engineering ordered. This one is the materials for the experiment Closure is putting together for a new line of business. Hello, Amiya. Hello, Doctor. This one. Amiya? Doctor, what are you two doing here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we interrupting the procurement department's work?
No, it's fine. It's just, if you're here for the view, I think you'll have a better time up on the deck. It's pretty noisy here at the logistics channel.
Actually, we've kind of got used to noisy environments lately. This noise here actually feels more comfortable. Doctor, let's head further inside. Don't worry.
No changes in my vitals. After all, we kept our distance from the active origin IUM clusters, and we had effective protective measures. But I'd be lying to say I wasn't terrified to see active origin IUM growing and fragmenting the earth in front of me. But when I hear that name now, I don't think I can smile anymore. But maybe when everyone gave it the name Grinning Valley, it was just a natural valley that wasn't yet covered in active origin IUM. Ray was so sure that she had been there when she was young. After all, but over those 10 years, the origin IUM there rapidly proliferated and made the area unrecognizable. Not even Ray could identify it. Yeah, we didn't actually make it to the Grinning Valley. All we did was look at it from afar before we had to turn back. It feels kinda like getting ready for a picnic, only for it to rain that day. Don't laugh. Doctor. Yeah. Oh, I hadn't by chance approached the Grinning Valley from higher ground and the visibility was any lower. Perhaps the origin IUM clusters would have caught up to us, or maybe we would have fumbled our way into it. I think that perhaps they grow and proliferate in the bodies of the infected just like that. All the infected across the lands were actually caught by the origin IUM a long time ago. All right, Doctor. Do you think the foreign MUT that Ray was looking for really exists? That's good. Although we didn't make it to our destination, Ray wasn't just suffering a nightmare.
Doctor, here's your order.
Oh, it's a surprise I ordered for you, Doctor. It's a small vivarium, man. When I walked by the market that day, it suddenly occurred to me that you seemed very interested in Billy Fauna all those years ago, when you brought me back to this landship and turned to look at the wilderness. You seemed very lonely. I was still small, but I could tell that it was loneliness. So I thought I wanted to miniaturize and save everything there is in Rim Billetins as a snapshot for you, at the very least. Back then, I thought you felt lonely because the landship was a bit empty. Perhaps having some living things around would make you happier. Of course, Rhodes Island has a botanical garden now, and our databases have a sizable collection of ecological files. So this small vivarium might not be all that useful to you anymore. But I still wanted to fulfill the wish I had as a kid. Be pretty different. I'm not lonely at all. It's just, after we got back here, I suddenly started to feel sad. We have to get us back to preparing for our journey to Victoria. Combat. Disaster prevention. And saving lives. Many elite operators have matters to settle. Drive. Cults forbade me from using that title to refer to myself. There's something someone once told me. This path isn't one to reach the end by oneself, and it's not trodden for an outcome or an answer. Oh, please don't worry. Doctor, I'm fine. I'm not trying to act sentimental. But maybe it's precisely because this path doesn't have an end that we sometimes want to take somebody's hand or reach our hand out to somebody else. As such, life is finite, and life goes on. Let me help you get your vivarium to your office. I've had enough time to put my feelings in order. Wait now. Still a lot of things I need to figure out and learn. Also, we just had a new operator pass her assessment. I want to go congratulate her, based on her question for me. Rhodes Island doesn't actually need a pit sinker. Yupa. The one she's been holding on to since the catastrophes. Hold on. The MUS beast in the vivarium. Isn't that what some beasts like to eat? Come back. Send beast. No eating the doctor's things. Hello. Amia? Doctor. Hello. I heard your assessment went very well. Congratulations. Thank you. I have a Rhodes Island ID badge now. And there's a number on it. Yes. Are you worried about something? When the miners went in the shafts, they'd all bring their ID badges. That way, if somebody didn't come back, it's easy to figure out who. But pit sinkers are temporary workers. We don't get his ID numbers or badges. I like this badge very much. Thanks. No need to thank us. It's what a corporation should do. Besides, if it pleases you, Rhodes Island can be your home. From here on out.
You see Ray lift her head to stare at Amiya all of a sudden. Just like the stare that Amiya felt a few days ago, when you'd walked by her on the street.
Right. Ray, why did you suddenly want to come to Rhodes Island? To be a pet sinker. You helped Pot Lid. I thought I should have helped her too. I can't forget what happened that day. No matter what. And also, Kaito, I want an answer. When the Furren MUT woke up from its centuries-long sleeps and asked me what exactly I wanted, all I asked was for him to send me, on the sand beasts, to a safe place. At that moment, I felt no regrets about anything, as if being able to see it was more than enough. And I so want to know why I so longed for that light at the time. What exactly is it to me? At the time. Well, are you asking me? Why?
You quickly realize that Ray is not looking at Amiya. Not at all.
The Furren MUT. My hallucination. Over 10 years ago, I saw it in the Grinning Valley. At the time, I was with a team of hunters. There was a sandstorm. It was dark. And we got lost. I was still pretty short. So I could only see the people around me and their hunting crossbows. After some time, I couldn't walk anymore. And I couldn't see anything clearly. In the end, all I remember seeing was a huge shadow. And a ray of pure white light. It was narrow, but it penetrated the sands. I heard a gentle whisper that drowned the howling winds. All of a sudden, I wasn't afraid anymore. Maybe it was just a dream that I had. The only thing I remember after it was waking up in a tent tide. Never seen before. But even if it was just a dream, I want to see the hallucination that has been with me all this time. Doctor. I saw it. I saw a Rhodes Island that was freshly dug out and covered by a canvas. Its large shadow moved slowly through an origin covered wilderness in rimbilitenses. The Sarkazi engineering team all had their faces covered to conceal their identities. Their vehicle was loaded with cannons, while architectural arts forged blades. Sandstorms was fierce, and the road ahead was dark. A long convoy followed Rhodes Island's tracks and marched onwards. This is going to be a long road. But to save everyone from their hardships and to prevent an even crueler future, this is our greatest hope. On the sands, the engineering team and the local team of hunters walked past each other. I saw her helping the trapped hunters, even though they were complete strangers. Because I think it would be so nice if everyone could make it back to their own home.
Right. Amiya, this land ship has its own name. What's more, there's someone here who knows the meaning that was bestowed upon this Rhodes Island when it was given this name. Have you asked the doctor? No. It's not because you're young that the doctor didn't explain it to you. The doctor simply thought it should be us and those who come after us to define what kind of ship Rhodes Island is. It's fine if the old definition gets left behind in the past, at the very least. I think that line of thinking can at least partially be found in the doctor's silence, because that is also how the doctor sees the doctor. Knowledge cannot define the doctor. The doctor thinks that the doctor knows nothing. Memories cannot define the doctor either. The doctor's memories could never again be found across these lands. Amiya, do you trust the doctor? Right, I do too. And one of the reasons I chose to trust the doctor is because the doctor reached a hand out to you back then. Perseverance, civilization, the extraordinarily long stretch of time, the burning stars, and the fated future. There are many. Many thoughts so heavy they are unrecognizable within the doctor's mind. But the doctor made a very simple wish. The very first coordinates that the doctor picked out of that vast loneliness. Amiya, this is your home. Perhaps one day, it will be you who will decide what Rhodes Island means. Right. It's only natural to feel scared. This may be very hard. But I really do hope that you won't fear giving the wrong response. Don't be afraid. The idealistic path is unending. That's why it can't be walked all the way to the end by any one person. No matter when, and no matter what. If you're scared, you just need to find the people you trust and take their hands. Huh? You're scared already? In that case, you can take my hand right now. Until that day.
Hold on. Can I do this? Do you trust me?